We're back. That's right. Welcome to Breakfast Central on News Central. It's another day to talk about the latest stories and bring them to you. Plus, to let you know what's really happening in Nigeria. And also, today, we're going to go outside the shores of Nigeria, particularly to three countries, Mexico, Canada, and of course, the United States of America. It's the countdown to the World Cup. So we're going to look at that today on Breakfast Central, and you can trust us to do justice to it because there's a lot of talks around. And don't forget too, yesterday, that Nigeria did play Portugal. Did you see how they were frolicking and running around Cristiano Ronaldo just to get that last hug and handshake? Because you never could tell. You may not have a chance to play with a superstar like that. Besides that, don't forget Nigeria will not be competing at this year's World Cup. But then again, that's one story to look into. Sad story continues here in Nigeria amidst the good news. But the sad one is that there was another killing and another abduction that did take place yesterday, this time in Kogi State once again. The schools seem to be in target. We're wondering why the schools are being targeted. It seems that's the modus operandi of the so-called bandits or terrorists targeting the youths and the generation of tomorrow. But don't take my words for it alone. Stick around to find out what this show will be all about, and we'll let you in on every single thing that we have lined up in store. Well, just in case you do not know and you're wondering what's going to happen today, my name is Joe Hansen, and I've got Olive and
wow,
here
your
with
name
us.
is Joe Hansen. I had thought for a minute that you were Cristiano Ronaldo.
I almost said my name is Cristiano Ronaldo, but then again, when I checked, last time I checked, my mother is not from...
Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Central. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. In Joe's introduction, we were wondering why this is their modus operandi. I think we can clearly agree that part of the modus operandi of bullies is to target the vulnerable, the easy to manipulate, the easy to generate public sympathy targets. And that's what the schools represent to them. An opportunity to tug at the heart of Nigerians, at the leaders, because they know that when they do that, these are primarily soft targets. It's why when they talk about war, and the reference is being made to, women and children, they'll say 500 people, including women and children, because oftentimes they know that when they use those, the terrorists see that as an easy to manipulate option, if you get what I mean. Because once that is announced, people will start to feel, let's try to work together to do whatever we can to negotiate with them. It's really terrible that almost no day passes by without a story about insecurity in Nigeria. And I cannot believe that this is where we have come to as a nation. But our responsibility here is to make sure that we bring you these stories, however uncomfortable they may be, as this is our reality here in Nigeria. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. My name is Olive Emodi. For the next 3 hours, we're taking you around the country looking at politics, and we also want to hear your voice. At some point later today, when we'll be analyzing the front pages, looking at what the stories on the newspapers are saying, we'll open the phone line so that you can call in at that point. And we also, all through the show, head to YouTube to take comments on YouTube. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. Now, when Joe was doing his introduction, Joe had said that Nigeria is not playing in the World Cup. We may not be playing in the World Cup, but distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great joy to announce to you that Nigeria is fully a part of the World Cup. Ask me how.
How?
Nigerians will decide what country has been good to them and analyze and decide to throw their support. Woe betide you if you are on the opposing side, if you are not in their good books. We know that Nigerians have influence, and that when Nigeria chooses a place or a country to support, you can feel it. It's why I feel that even on Instagram, some content creators intentionally will do Nigerian content, because once you get Nigerians on your side, the influence that Nigerians will physically and virtually, it cannot be denied. It's overwhelming. So kudos to all the countries that will have Nigeria supporting them. And my thoughts and prayers are with you if Nigeria is not supporting you this World Cup, because you go feel them. In the words of Davido, them go feel it. Okay.
Anyway, I can't wait though. But let's move on to our wake-up conversations. Let's start off with what had happened. By the way, yesterday at the Senate, calls were made for former GMD of NNPCL, Mele Kyari. They said he's wanted dead or alive. So I don't know if they want to place a bounty on the former GMD of the NNPCL. But let's wait and see. 24 hours has been given, 48 hours by extension. Maybe he will appear before the Senate and he would come to explain where the 210 trillion naira or the other 5 billion, or was it trillion, used to just change the name. These are conversations that are very important and we cannot wait to have them. But before we come to the Mele Kyari story, let's go to one other story that will definitely make you wonder what is really going on in Nigeria. Now, there was drama, not mild drama, but serious drama in the Senate. And let's take you back to Tuesday as regards what happened on Tuesday, where the managing director of the Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, Mark Okoye, was actually called to sit before a panel over the commission's claim that it spent 153 million naira. Take note, 153 million naira to rent a one-room liaison office in Abuja. The Senate Committee on SEDC, chaired by Senator Ojuzo Kalu, a former governor, raised concerns over the expenditure while reviewing the commission's financial report. Lawmakers also questioned a 2.5 billion naira listed as implied expenditure and demanded accountability for funds spent from the 16.6 billion naira released to the agency. Now, let me make it clear, just in case you do not understand, just to break it down for you. Now, the Southeast, of course, Development Commission was set up by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he got the plaudits, whether you like it or not, from people in the Southeast that it's about time. It was made to, repair, to revitalize all the R's you can imagine, rehabilitate all the ills that the Southeast has faced all through the years, especially during the war. Exactly. And because it had been set up, a budget of 16.6 billion naira was allocated to that commission. Now, it's actually a mirror of the what we have in the Niger Delta, commission. And while that was done, people were thinking, okay, it's about time. But a young man was placed to head it. And this is what we got. 153 million naira spent for a one-room apartment in Abuja.
But they have given an explanation to that. I'll give the explanation. Joe, there's a video that kind of shows where this was happening, I believe. But there's an explanation to that. And
a press statement.
Yes, the explanation that they have said regarding clarifying the 153 million is that it's not for one room. They say that it was for the establishment and operation of their Abuja liaison office located at Congress Building, 70 Mississippi Street, Maitama, including the basement, ground floor, boardroom, under a signed lease agreement, and also covered operational costs, utilities, and fit-out works from February 2025. Now, regarding the 2.5 billion that Joe had mentioned, the Commission has now explained that the amount relates to a contract awarded for the rehabilitation of its headquarters in Enugu and has not yet been disbursed. They say it hasn't left the Commission's account. And then on the balance discrepancy regarding how much they have, Senator Ojuzo Kalu had asked, and of course, he was very, very passionate about this because he had been an advocate of the SEDC being formed and being set up. And he said, how much is left of the 16.6 billion naira? And Okoye said 11 billion remained. The committee now said that, citing CBN's data, they said 13 billion remained, meaning 3.6 billion naira had been spent. So it would seem that they have given some explanations. Whether these explanations will fly, that is another issue to look at. Joe?
Well, there we have it. But let's see the press statement very quickly and put that on TV and see what the press statement looks like, what their claims are, and what Nigerians should know about the so-called 150 plus million that was spent. So the SEDC affirms commitment to transparency. A full disclosure, it says the Southeast Development Commission today participated in an interactive session with the Senate Committee on Southeast Development and so on and so forth. It went on to say that during the engagement, the Commission provided detailed briefings on its financial position. And let's take it from this other part. It says, in view of public interest in the session, the Commission considers it important to clarify a number of issues that have featured prominently in public commentary. On the Abuja liaison office, the expenditure that was relating to the Commission Abuja liaison office covers the establishment and operation of a functional office facility at the Congress Building, Maitama, Abuja. And just like Oliver has explained. But let's see what Nigerians are saying before we come back and take more comments. Of course, Binga Borowa has a lot to say, even though he's been quiet for a while now and trying to refreshen himself.
I'm just in my feelings because I'm not wearing my glasses today. So I'm
oh my goodness,
you're a little blind. So just in case, you may not see.
I don't even. I'm not even sure if is this Judith Atibi.
Oh no, this is. Last time I checked, this is Tolu.
The voice is like
similar,
Olive's voice, but
how many fingers?
Hazel voice, 7 fingers.
Okay,
are you octopus?
Okay, I should put my legs down. Eh? Oh my God. But let's see this video. If we have the video, let's see if we have the video, and let's see all the materials we have for this story.
You received 16.6 billion. How much is left in your account?
Which is what we are going to.
No. That is what you told them.
No, sir. Which is
Senator Abaribe just told you left 29 million. That's what you wrote. You're under oath.
Yes, sir.
You're under oath.
I'm under oath, and I explained what I mean by.
No. Wait. How much? Just answer my question. Don't divert it. How much is left in the bank today?
Your Excellency, excuse me.
No, please. I didn't ask you any question. It's to the MD.
Can I answer? I can answer, Mr. Chairman.
I ask you a direct question.
Yes. At the last I checked, and the last information that was given to me, the SEDC should have at least between 11.5 to 12 billion in its account.
You have 13.something billion as of today.
I said last I was.
No, as of today, I'm looking to Central Bank. Okay. You're in our committee. We are in the committee. We have access to anywhere you can spend money and keep money. These people you see here, they are not the people you know. We are government officials. I've spoken to Central Bank. I can go to my office and give you the document now. I will have sent the accountant general, auditor general will come to audit everything you have done, because I'm not impressed. You are giving us this rot. Look at that paper. Completed and imperative and not imperative. What does that mean? It means nothing in English. We are not satisfied with your job. This is not a job somebody that claims to be an expert like you should be doing. I'm very disappointed, and this committee is very, very, very disappointed. I will give you 1 week to go back and tell us the whole truth on this thing and come back to the committee, because you are wasting our time.
Mr. Chairman, I informed you about that on Friday.
No.
And you said I must come.
No.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And I have evidence why I informed you. I said that documents are being put together. No. And we will come back.
I don't even want to argue with you.
And you said that we must come and speak to them. Now, and then after that, we'll go and bring the documents and document them and present.
Listen to me.
That's what you
go
said
back
to me, sir.
We want to see you back next Tuesday.
Who is in charge of accounts? I am happy that
because you have one little office here in Abuja and you pay 153 million by one room. This committee goes
in Abuja.
Then yes, of course, it's true.
The committee can come for an oversight visit to our office.
No, we are not going to come there. We'll send our clerk and people to go. We don't want to have anything to oversight. Our headquarters is in Enugu.
Okay, sir.
And we don't want to hear anything that you are spending money. You spend 153 million. We have evidence. Listen to me. You are dealing with people who are gone far than you think we can go. This is why I'm warning you people, let us not continue this joke here, because if these gentlemen here release what they want to ask, you will not be able to leave this place.
Mr. Chairman, this committee must have the courage, the will, to deploy its powers as enunciated in the Nigerian Constitution and issue warrant, not tomorrow, today, and bring Mele Kyari, even dead or alive, in law. They what we call habeas corpus. Even if he's dead, we want to see the body. And he will account. And you say, here lies a man who died without accounting for his alleged crime that rose into trillions of naira. We are not talking of billions of naira.
Okay, all right. So two separate stories there. First, the SEDC, and then the NNPCL yesterday was on fire, talking about the former GMD, Mele Kyari, who is actually wanted. The former governor
He seems to be the only senator.
Seems the only one talking now.
The only one that understands the role of oversight functions, even though he's a member of the ruling party.
Yeah.
Kudos to Senator Adams Oshomole.
He's
Many
talking
people
tough.
might think, he's boisterous and all of that, but at the end of the day, he's doing what he was elected to do.
Absolutely.
We need transparency and accountability.
Okay, so let's then first of all react to what's happening with the SEDC. Do you want to go first?
I'll let you go first. Ladies first.
I think it's very obvious that one would argue that maybe there wasn't adequate preparation on the side of,
Mark Okoye.
Exactly. Coming there, you know that you're going to come and face these questions, and it seemed that there were some gaps. So him saying he has between 11, I believe, to
13 billion.
Yeah, they are saying CBN account is showing difference, saying he's quoting a different figure. It looks like there was some measure of hostility that, was shown in that video. But right now, Nigerians are angry. Every slight discrepancy will have to be accounted for. So he's been given a deadline. June 23rd, I believe, is the deadline, where he has to come back with a detailed explanation as to what has happened to these monies. I mean, I recall Mark Okoye was celebrated back in the day when, we were very active with the Future Awards team. He was, I think he was a Young Person of the Year was nominated, and he was the youngest commissioner at the time.
He's done very well in private sector before he became an advisor to Willie Obiano and then a commissioner. He was also, I think he was a commissioner under Chukwuma's.
I think so.
In the last administration in Anambra State, under Obiano. And he's been flying the flag for Nigerian youths. But like you said, I don't think there's any cause for alarm yet.
Well, I don't know. I'm not holding brief for him.
Until we see him return.
Yes.
And on Tuesday, and they've clarified that that room that Senator Oji Ozekalo said was 153 million naira is not just for room in that sense, because when you say room, you know how Nigerians will interpret it. It says it's more than that. It's the staff enrollment and fittings and many other things that come with it. But when we have the full details, Nigerians would make their judgment. But let's listen to what Nigerians are saying already.
Let me start from YouTube and then we'll head to X. On YouTube, Michael Zu says if the rent of the SEDC office is correct, Mark Okoye is a huge disgrace to youth. His budget is full of workshops, seminars, conferences, and irrelevant expenses. SEDC doesn't need liaison office in Abuja. He goes on to say the earlier EFCC and ICPC visit Mark Okoye, the better our for Southeasterners. This young Okoye should benchmark from Southwest, who are developing a railway master plan to connect all Southwest state capitals. He says, according to the World Bank, they said the Southeast will require an annual investment of $10 billion over the next 30 years to bridge its infrastructure gap. Exactly.
Wow. I mean, what's been happening since all these days? And what happened with aligning with the center and all of that? Because the Federal Executive Council, I think it was last month, they announced major projects that they were undertaking. And there was a shock. Huge. I mean, it was obvious that nothing was going to the Southeast, and people were wondering, like all these politicians, what's your alignment for? Why are you not lobbying for development? And look at the huge infrastructure deficit.
And what would ask exactly $10 billion over the next 30 years.
That's
huge.
So
it's not $10 billion one of annual investment of $10 billion. That's if you multiply that by 30, you know how much that comes to. So it begs the question, what have the Southeast governors been doing in the past few years? What have the Southeast legislators, their representatives, how are they not getting adequate funding? Why is the budget not covering the Southeast? And when you look back, it was just May 30. I think it was May 30th that they celebrated or they marked what had happened years ago at the Civil War. And when you look at the impact, the hit that the Southeast has taken, they haven't completely recovered from what happened during the Biafra
War. But do you agree with Michael Zeus that the SEDC doesn't need a liaison office in Abuja? I think they do. They liaise with the federal government, the National Assembly. Maybe not a full office per se, but I don't know.
To be honest, I can see the sense in that. I don't know how it works, so I don't want to speak from a place of inadequate knowledge. But if it's for Southeast, why is the major office not in Ada?
The headquarters is in Enugu,
right?
a liaison office.
Anyway.
I think there's nothing wrong with having the liaison office in Abuja, but let's see what Nigerians
I need to take this one.
Sorry.
Victor Kebata says Mr. Corruption himself trying to catch a thief.
Who's he talking about? What's he saying? What?
I don't understand what you are saying. No. And then final one, Kelvin Honda says, Nigeria has become a joke. How can we build a nation like this where accountability and transparency have become like a theater of clowns in government? Let's head to X and see what they're saying on X. On X this morning,
Morris says 16.6 billion naira enters SEDC, and suddenly everyone is asking, where did it go? Classic timing.
So he's doing it. Yeah, it says Ojus Okalu is now
requesting accountability, meaning the money has entered investigation mode.
At this
point, it's no longer funds; it's a mystery.
No, now it's not yet a mystery.
Okay,
calm down.
Farmer says one thing we are yet to deal with in Nigeria are civil servants. These guys are teaching politicians how to steal big and get away with it. If we really want to deal with corruption, we need to start with these federal parastatals that chop with both hands. Says they chop with both hands. That's what he says. In as much as SEDC currently is a mess.
Wow.
No, they're eating it like swallow. Have you seen those guys that eat 1 pound of fufu with one hand? Have you? My brother, they are chopping this money. Anyway, in as much as SEDC currently is a mess, these senators are only asking questions because they are not getting caught yet. A lot of persons have highlighted this as a major issue, but we don't want to believe because, like you guys said, the commissioner himself mentioned that the CBN says it still has about 12 billion in its account. 13.
Yes.
In its account, untouched.
Ojus Okalu. Yes.
13 billion. And what's missing is the other one. So, well, anyway, it's still early days.
Is anything missing? Or
I don't know. They said it's misappropriation.
They want them to account for what they've spent.
Accountability. We'll wait till Tuesday, maybe when we see that. Let's move to our next story very quickly here on Wake Up Conversations. We did talk about it earlier, but then again, we need to mention.
Let's play the video, actually.
You see this? You see this one? This particular one?
Oh, we're not talking about Mele Kyari?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But this, we have to talk about this one.
All right.
We've always known this story. We have been at the forefront here asking questions.
I don't think anybody
every
has asked
morning.
About it.
I don't think anybody has talked about this.
Has asked about any small thing like this. Where's
Hadi Sirika? Where's Hadi Sirika? We've always done that. But the EFCC yesterday came out. Maybe they heard our voices. Remember we asked last week that EFCC, how far?
They have questions to answer.
Exactly. Now, what was supposed to be our pride in the skies has turned into a courtroom drama now as we speak. The FCC has revealed that the aircraft unveiled as Nigeria Air in May 2023 was not ours, but rented from Ethiopian Airlines for just 3 days.
Wow.
Sorry, hold on. Wow.
What a discovery.
Wow. Oh, no, wow, please. My goodness.
Ring that bell. Ring that bell.
Wow. Wow. Oh. Yeah, I need to leave the studio.
No,
oh my God.
Man, I can't believe it.
EFCC did not know.
Investigative journalism. Wow.
Guys, I'm leaving the studio.
Wow.
Okay.
What? Kudos to the EFCC for
they did not know.
Maybe there's more to it.
Hi.
Wow. Okay.
Let's get the full picture.
Now, the allegation was made on Wednesday by the 12th prosecution witness, Christopher Odofin, an EFCC investigator, while testifying before Justice S.C. Orji in the ongoing trial of Sirika and 3 others over alleged abuse of office and misappropriation of public funds exceeding 2 billion naira. Sirika has been prosecuted on an amended 6-count charge of fraud. A statement by the EFCC spokesman, Dele Oyewale, said, during his testimony, Odofin told the court that the aircraft displayed at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on May 27, 2023, was chartered from Ethiopian Airlines solely for a 3-day static display bearing Nigeria Air livery. So Nigerians were shown a plane that wasn't even ours. It was just a rented aircraft with a paying job, or like Benga would say, we're living fake life. All right. This is the airline. This is the plane, rather. Remember, there was a theatrics. You could see them spraying water.
Yeah, the ceremonial
unveiling.
Water salutes.
Exactly, Nigeria Air. And here we have Nigeria Air that never took to the air. Now, the question has been, ever since the discovery of this massive deception, where is Hadi Sirika? Yes, we do know that he's been in court. And the question is, because we have...
Do you know where he is?
Well,
I mean, he purchased.
How did Sirika purchase form?
Yes, but he has a court case.
He purchased form,
Is he the
an
first person
APC
that
form.
purchased form that has a court case?
Thank you.
Kogi,
Malami
Yahya
also,
Bello.
former
Yahya Bello.
AGF purchased form. How did Sirika purchase form?
Former Minister
Even the
of Power.
man that they just sentenced to 70-something
Yes,
years in
he purchased
prison,
form.
that we wish long life and prosperity, he purchased form.
Not just that. Harry Sirika was at the convention
Yes.
and also spoke to News Central
Yes,
about
we saw
how
the video.
powerful
And-
the APC
and
is.
That thing was like a shock. I remember the day we were watching this. We're like, wait.
But you know what
what
this does, but I still know it's early days. But in the last few months, the EFCC is proving to naysayers. But Nigerians are still watching because there's one big individual that they want. Until then, they will
White
say,
Lion?
you know, yeah, the
Sirika,
White Lion.
Yahya Bello.
But what this does is that, you know, that theory of deodorization and insecticization does not really apply anymore. The EFCC is showing that your APC membership or position does not give you immunity from prosecution. And we've seen this with the former, what was this? The gentleman that was Minister of Power that was sentenced, and now this ongoing trial of Sirika. But like Joe said, it's not yet to rule until the White Lion is caged.
Well,
and then EFCC done cage.
Yeah. So the thing is, we can't. It's one thing to appear in court. I think also we need to find a way for our court processes
And you're
to be
also
fast-tracked.
innocent. We need to state it that you are proven, you are presumed innocent until found otherwise.
Yes, it is the court that will determine your guilt. So even when Nigerians are seeing obviously that you lie, or you lie a big bad lie,
or a deception.
A deception, you know, the court will be the one to decide or determine your guilt.
Do we understand the intent of what was done?
It was intended to make late President Muhammadu Buhari in a way look good, because it was like, oh, we promised this
farewell
because this was towards the end of President Muhammadu Buhari's
and then
it was like we have to
a few days
to the end.
And then they still said, okay, you know what, Nigerians will start producing planes.
Oh yes,
we'll start coupling. You cannot.
Many things have been said that will produce.
Not just that. Remember, there was a minister that once said that Nigeria will start making pencils, toothpick and pens. Still today,
science and innovation.
We're still waiting. But let's go back to this. You fly to another country, you have an agreement, you sign, you sneak the plane in, they change the name. Do you know what it takes? Do you know the mindset, the mind shift of doing that? You spray, you write Air Nigeria finally, you position the plane, you fly it down. People come, they do the water ceremony. The plane says, okay, they say, pilot, in this case, I'll call him driver. Driver, just turn around. Driver just goes round. The pilot goes round. Everybody shouts, hey! You pose for pictures. In all of that, nobody entered the plane, no. Nobody, no video, no picture, no, you are not allowed. Any journalist even the few journalists that went there, we know those journalists. You just go there, just report it.
These finally are the visuals, yeah.
And that was the end. This was the same former minister who purchased fire trucks for an outrageous price that Nigerians were asking, what kind of is it? Are the fire
and they
trucks
did
made
their
of
research
gold?
and said even with cost of shipping, everything, it shouldn't be this outrageous.
So what?
It does have a lot of questions to answer. Absolutely.
Again, like we mentioned earlier, innocent until proven guilty. However, what Nigerians are saying that this was not just a strong allegation of theft of public funds. It's a deception of the Nigerian people, playing on our integrity and really taking Nigerian people for fools, taking them.
And I remember when we had this conversation back then, we got some slack on, on X. Some individuals were complaining that, oh, Sirika, what did he do wrong, and blah, blah, blah. Look, we are all for a Nigeria that works for everybody. So the fact that somebody that is from your geographical region or somebody you support has committed crimes against the Nigerian state or is under investigation does not mean you should automatically defend the person. I mean, Nigeria is for everyone. And that's how we should see it. We should be blind to religion and ethnicity and, work on things for their merit.
I agree with you. Anyway, we're not going to take what Nigerians are saying with this story because it's obvious that We all know what the story is about. Let's move on to our final story as we wrap things up on Wake Up Conversations, go into our main conversation this morning. The Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, popularly known as KAI, Kick Against the Discipline, carried out a major enforcement exercise at the Jibu Railway Corridor. Now, over 15 suspects were arrested. Lagos State Commissioner for Environment, Honorable Tokunbo Wahab, said the individuals were arrested collecting discarded disposable plastics from waste bins, and shocking part is they were distributing those same plastics to food vendors for reuse. Now, imagine eating your meal in a plate or cup that was picked straight from the trash. This is not just a sanitation issue, it's actually a public health crisis waiting to happen. Now, take note, disposable plastics are meant for single use. Most Nigerians don't know that. A disposable plastic is actually a single use. So once they're discarded, they are contaminated.
Or they should be sent for recycling. Yeah.
Most people go there, gather them up for recycling. We've seen disposable plastics used for road constructions. We've seen them being used for construction as well, buildings and so on. There's a way they use them. We've seen these documentaries. We've seen these people. Now, they take them, they give them to food vendors. It's actually like serving germs with every meal. Now, KAI's intervention, we must say, is commendable. But it also raises questions. How many food vendors are knowingly or unknowingly using these plastics? So watch this video, and then we'll be right back.
No, kò tí ìyá ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, àní kẹ́ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Ó mú jù sí i. Our family is going to I go give you the man. You come with us. Go inside the church. Go inside church. Officer Jalili Ashegiri Efue. Hello. Hello. This way. I want to talk to you.
Big one, big challenge there.
You know, I think Honorable Tokunbo Wahab has one of the toughest jobs in the entire country, because it's very hard to manage Lagos. Do you know how many tons of waste Lagos generates on a daily basis? And then you need to police millions and just tell them to do the barest minimum. Sometimes, I mean, it's not an excuse for the government not to take responsibility and do what it has to do. But I need you and Olive to just, I think if you take a train ride from Eputimeta to Abeokuta, you would understand what I'm saying. The indiscipline is gross. Rotimi Amechi tried to put like a mesh fence to separate the rail from the trailers. They destroyed it. They sell things, mattresses, or they've turned it to a market. When a train is coming that puts their life at risk, that's when they
start
move.
Running away.
You need to see the
But
mess.
that's
you
not
need
just
to see
in Nigeria.
shanty towns. No, in Vietnam,
In
it's
Vietnam,
tourist,
exactly.
it's tourist
It's
attraction.
even tourist
It's not,
attraction.
but this is a thing. This is a mess. And those, I mean, this is even, it's really, really overwhelming. The responsibilities of the state, because Lagosians need to do better. The way they throw things inside the gutter, the amount of garbage you see on the roadside, it's
Every single
So
space.
I'm going to speak as someone who has played in the sustainability sector, right? Years ago, I was an ambassador for an organization, and the core value of the organization, the core goal of the organization was kicking against single-use plastic. And Benga, I'm sure you remember back then when we used to do walks and single-use plastics. Then we used to do like explain ways in which people could use. So encourage them to use dispensers as opposed to buying bottles and all of that. So there were things that we're doing. And one of the things that we came to realize was that the biggest setback against sustainability in the plastic sector is poverty. those people that were arrested were definitely from the poorest strata of, the Lagos. And these people have found an underdeveloped sector in this, and they have found a way to make money. So whether we like it or not, poverty will pose a huge challenge, that's one. Two, lack of education will pose another huge challenge because people don't understand the implication of this. For them, it's just they're making money. Oh, buy plastic, sell plastic. They don't understand.
So we need to channel this recycling and sustainability through proper channels.
The formal recycling sector is so underdeveloped. A lot of people don't even understand it. I mean, you go abroad and okay, this is recyclable waste. You separate your waste. We don't do that here because people don't know. You don't understand the risk of what one plastic can do. One plastic bottle goes into the ground, takes about 500 years for it to break down into microplastic. That microplastic goes into the soil, releases greenhouse gases, or if it goes into the sea, your fish eats it, you eat that fish. And imagine something that doesn't break down. And every day we're talking about, So it's just really a lot that needs to be processed in that regard. But just to remind you that tomorrow, the 12th day of June. Tomorrow is officially Nigeria's Democracy Day, as was declared by late President Muhammadu Buhari. And we're going to be taking 2 selected viewers who will have the exclusive opportunity to join us live in the studio. Yes. So for the first segment of our show, which is Wake Up Conversations, you're joining us for that segment. Now, if you'd like to participate, please send a WhatsApp message to the number scrolling on your TV screen. That is 070 5500-1212. Include your name, your occupation, and your place of residence. And just make sure that before you drop that comment, you're able to make it to our studio in Ikeja for 6:30 a.m. tomorrow. If you're flying from the UK, just make sure you're here by 6:30 a.m. You can come from wherever. We look forward to having you today, or tomorrow rather, but keep your comments coming. But for now, let's share with you what our top stories are this morning on Breakfast Central. Our top stories this morning on Breakfast Central, we'll be looking at bandits attacking a Kogi school, killing the vice principal as well as 2 others, and security is becoming a worse issue than we imagined. Federal government begins evacuation of Nigerian citizens from South Africa due to the xenophobic attacks. Reps to vote on state police bill. They're moving to put that vote, and we'll be looking into the details of that. And there have been calls as well for Mele Kyari's arrests. Public Accounts Committee orders his arrest. We'll be reviewing the front pages of the newspaper. Our analyst will join us, and at this point, we'll open the phone lines. That's all we have for you this morning on Breakfast Central. A fresh attack on Iluke community in Bono District, Kaba Bono local government area of Kogi State, has left 3 people dead, including a secondary school vice principal and a 6-year-old boy. The attack occurred during an ongoing WAEC examination when armed assailants invaded the community, disrupted the exam process, and opened fire, plunging the area into chaos. And renewed concern over the safety of schools and examination centers across Nigeria has now occurred.
Now, here's what you need to know about this particular story. The attack comes less than a month after the abduction of students, teachers, and a school principal in Orire, LGA of Oyo State. An incident that has now entered its 4th week. Now, since the Chibok abduction in 2014, Nigeria has recorded dozens of school attacks and mass kidnappings with thousands of students affected across Borno, Kaduna, Katsina, Niger, and Zamfara states. The Kogi attack comes as the House of Representatives prepares to vote on state police today and amid a fresh DSS alert warning of a planned mass abduction in Edo State.
Join us this morning to examine the growing security concerns across the country. We have Ara Tokun Ale, security expert, and Dr. Steve Okoye, a security consultant. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Steve Okoye. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I mean, looking at the states of the nation, barely any day goes by without reports of insecurity and kidnappers. And we've currently seen an uptick and pattern in school abductions. What do you think is responsible for this?
A lot is responsible for it. I'm not expecting a utopian society. Neither am I expecting a perfect society where everything is expected to be perfect. We have citizens of this country that some of them are deviants. They choose to go against what the law says. And don't forget that Emily Duncan a French sociologist said that a society without crime is inevitable. So having said that, we expect that some citizens of this country will choose to go the way of carrying out acts of criminality against the citizens of this country. And of course, there are triggers to it. The poverty, unemployment, idle men, youth out there, and other. But for me, this is not an excuse for them to go into crime. And of course, you also agree with me that the government and the security agencies whose task is to see that they address or see that insecurity is brought to the barest minimum, are not really doing what is expected of them. Do we have people of good intention? Do they have the deliberate will? Do they have the political will, to see that insecurity is reduced to its barest minimum?
I think as a follow-up to that, just to confirm, from your perspective, is there a possibility that these are all isolated attacks? Because it feels like, just like my colleague said, there's no day that we don't hear. We're now talking of a deadly attack in Kogi. There's the unresolved school abduction in Oyo that's entering its 4th week. I think today's the 27th day. There's a DSS warning of a planned mass abduction in Edo. So are we witnessing isolated incidents, or would you say that all these different attacks are somewhat interconnected?
Absolutely, they are interconnected. If you see the modus operandi, what's the difference? They go after citizens of this country that either go about their lawful businesses or they are in their sleep and order. They kidnap, they adopt, and they put up certain demands or requests to government and families of victims and order. All boils down to some certain Nigerians that are in collaboration with foreigners that come into this country to perpetrate these acts of criminality on our people, right? The fact is, are we doing what is expected of a country? Are we doing what is expected of our security agencies? Are there people that are manning offices in this country? There are 29 security agencies in this country, and they are all manned by Nigerians. We have Nigerians working in these security agencies, and we have Nigerians in government. Are they being rewarded for failing in their responsibility? The answer is yes, because once they are paid salaries, they are given allowances or paid allowances and all that, and they are not carrying out the tax before them in securing and protecting lives of Nigerians and properties of Nigerians, it means they are failing, and they are still kept there. So wherein lies punishment when we see where people are not living up to their responsibilities according to the dictates of their duties or their job that is being given to them and by the Nigerian government? We have their responsibilities to see how to protect us. Are they fulfilling that part of the Constitution of Section 14.2b that has become so common and popular now as a result of the worsening security situation or challenges we are seeing in this country? The answer is no. They are not fulfilling that section of the Constitution. And the Constitution says it's the primary responsibility of government, primary purpose of government, right? Why did the Constitution did not say it's secondary purpose? It is primary, So it means that the lives of Nigerians matters a lot, that it is the sole responsibility of government to provide security for the citizens of this country. Innocent children kidnapped, taken to locations, tortured, maltreated in all sorts of manner and all that. At the end of the day, this is the 4th week with regards to the Oyo adoption of school children. There are some other children that have been adopted that we don't even know where they are whereabouts. There are cases, they are not even on the media. There are a whole lot of them out there. Right now for the outburst, as a result of what has happened in the Oyo, we would have even heard that some number of children were also adopted in Oyo State, right? So the point here is that government must live up to responsibility. Do we have people that have the integrity that are manning these offices? We don't have Japanese or others, foreign nationals here that are operating in these offices. They are all Nigerians. So why are we failing, right? So anybody that is failing or has failed, the person should be booted out. I think that's the right thing to do. The person should be punished in the event where they fail.
Dr. Okoye, you said we have Nigerians who are in that position. But let's bring in Mr. Ale, who has joined us as well. Let's look at today. Today marks a very, very important day, especially in Nigeria's security architecture. As we speak, the House of Representatives is set to vote on the creation of state police today. Now, looking at the current situation of Nigeria's security realities, do you think state police would be the ideal and the most important thing that will solve Nigeria's insecurity issues? Is it the silver bullet, as it were?
And good morning, Nigerians, for having me on this program from London. However, I really, really enjoyed what my colleague said as regards to the way and manner the government seems to have handled all these security issues in Nigeria today. But there is only one place I'm going to have my argument with him. But before I go into that argument with him, let me first say state policing is right, but are we going to have a different result? I doubt if we're going to have it, because we have rooted a different foundation when it comes to security and safety in the country. And I can see it as more of a dead project from arrival anyway, because there has never been any good sincerity into the number of people in the committee that will definitely put some certain things in place. So it shows to me we're just going to be dancing around again. At the end of the day, you guys are going to call us back and come and start talking about state policing rather than talking about security, safety, and security audit that we're meant to have in Nigeria today. Having said that, do not let us criticize our security forces. Let us criticize the government and those involved, those handling the security issues in Nigeria today. Our security forces really want to work, but do they have the safety gifts and materials to work with? How many of them have got the real boots to walk around in all these terrain areas? How many of them have got these vested safety jackets, to armored vests and stuff to work with? Majority of them don't even have anything. Their welfare were so poor, because I've been to some some police stations that you kind of ask yourself, are these people truly here to support and save lives? Or they're just doing it for just salary purposes, like you mentioned. They collect salaries, but what about the materials to work with? Do they really have it? The answer to that is no. They have nothing to work with. So how do we expect them to support and save lives when they don't have anything to work with?
Now, Mr. Ale, I'll stay with you. You disagree that, or you're of the opinion that, you know, this state police is not the silver bullet, because some of the problems that are bedeviling...
I disagree. It's going to really work. It's not going to work the way we want it to work.
And are there certain things they can tweak? Because the way the government has been proposing it, anytime there's a major attack, they say, okay, we're going to fast track, or we're going to work on state policing. It's almost like it's a messiah or the ultimate solution to all our insecurity issues. They also throw around things like forest guards and water views. So if you could, what will be the ideal solution to the state policing to make it fit for purpose, as opposed to the regular Nigerian police that we have?
I think they should start thinking about is, just like my colleague said, we have different security agencies in Nigeria today. And tell me which path is actually really working. None is actually working, because at the end of the day, there's going to be something called conflict of interest. How many percentage of people have been recruited so far now? Nothing has been done. We've not really heard of anything at all, because I've put my ears and mouth and everything to the ground to even listen to one particular thing being done in terms of this are the development we're having within our security architecture in Nigeria today. So the question is this: where are the youths? Who are they going to recruit? What is going to be their ideal operative style of this is what we're going to do? We have different ideas in UK over here. We propose so many things, but a lot of things seem not to be working. You give them all these ideas, rather maybe, let me just put it this way, they use it to siphon money. And at the end of the day, nothing is done. I don't want us to come back and start deliberating on this, because I did the same thing during the Amotekun 6 years ago. Before the inauguration, I said a whole lot, and look at where Amotekun has led us to today. Amotekun is nothing to write home about. Are we going to be having another state policing whereby billions will be pumped into it and we'll have nothing to talk about? Look at, what's it called? The forest guard. What are they having to work with? So many of them, they have nothing to work with. We have different local state security architectures right now. They have nothing to work with. Why are we creating more and more unnecessary things that we think will work, and at the end of the day, it's not going to work? It is of no use using all these ideas that let us create state policing, whereby we have the real police, we have the MOPO, we have the MANOWA, we have the Peace Corps. Why not drive them inside? and let us see how we're going to work them together.
Okay,
rather
let
than
me
creating
bring
another agency entirely.
Let me bring Dr. Okoye into the conversation and get his reaction to this, because I mean, the concept of state policing has been pushed to the extent that, and even some have pushed further to say, not just state policing, community policing, because, you know, these people understand the terrain and it's easier for them to be able to, I mean, we're seeing that, because a number of these governors, when you ask them, they'll tell you, I don't have command. You know, command must come from the top. It's not a state-controlled activity, but it would have been easier if the governor has command. Dr. Okoye, do you agree that state policing is entirely useless and, you know, shouldn't be the silver bullet, you know, in his words, that will solve this issue?
The whole idea about state police, I think that it's about the personnel of state police having access to the communities where they come from. I am an advocate of local policing, and I've done a lot of work with regards to lack of presence of security in our rural and semi-rural communities. And where these are where this crime happens, especially kidnappings and adoptions and all that. They happen, they don't have personnel or security agents that confront them. It is when, after the damage is done, that is when you begin to see response. You hear the IGP say he has deployed a tactical and intelligence squad to the crime scene. That is medicine after death for me. Now, the whole idea about state police, yes, I don't want to begin to say that it won't work, but whatever we think that will work, make state police work, I think that if we put it into the federal police, it can make it work, right? I know that we have a central police. The governors have said they don't have control over police structure in their states and all that. I agree that the central police that we have, they're overstretched, whether we like it or not. Looking at the worsening security issues in the country, the police that we currently have, the capacity and the capability is not meeting up with the security challenges that is confronting Nigeria today. The current police that we see, they either report casualties or they try to debunk rumored adoptions or kidnappings and all that. I know the mandate of the police is prevention and detection. And in our books, they said the police is the lead agency when it has to do with internal crime. How well are they leading? How well are they preventing? You see? So I think that the best way to avoid crime from happening is to see that we put preventive measures in place. You know? So the police, they are out there. My colleague has said a lot, but the budget of defense and security has been the highest in the last 3, 4, 5 budgets that we've had in this country, right? The resources, does government actually release these resources to where it's supposed to be used for the purpose of providing security for our people and protecting our properties, right? If the money gets to them, does the people that this money gets to, that accesses this money, do they actually use the resources for the purpose? Judiciously used for the purpose to see that arms, ammunition, logistics, training, everything that it has to do with their working tools to make it work for them or make everything happen in the way they want. They have budget, they come to the National Assembly to defend this budget. And contained in these budgets, it's what they need to do, the tools, everything is contained in the budget. So we need to ask these questions, whether we like it or not. Corruption is a bane. Is a bane in addressing these insecurity issues that is confronting Nigeria today, right? How do the National Assembly, do they actually carry out effective oversight functions with regards to our military, police, and all the other security agencies? Because for me, effective oversight function exposes corruption. It exposes inadequacies or inefficiencies of our security agencies, right? They need to be accountable because these resources that is given to them, for them to use it for the purpose that is meant for, are they truly using it? Because in this country, we see 7 military police officers that become multimillionaires while in service. My colleague that is out there, he knows that outside the shores of this country, for a 7 military or police officer to become a millionaire or whatever, must have left service and is serving either as a military contractor or as a military consultant. But here in Nigeria, there are multi-millionaires, wealthy people, while in service. Where did they get the resources from? Meanwhile, we're talking about they don't have enough tools, they don't have enough boots and all that. Where are the senior officers getting these resources from that they have become so wealthy in this country? So a lot needs to be done. A lot needs to be done. They need to be accountable. I watched Mr. President in the last media chat that he has had. I think that's the only media chat where he said he won't probe the military. I think that we should move from that narrative, right? It has become a norm, right, from the military days to our democracy era. Military, police, and the other security agencies, we don't ask questions with regards to resources that is released to them. We shouldn't continue that way. And I want to align myself with Senator Adams Ashimole when I watched him in the last time during plenary, where he was asking for accountability. But we need to ask questions. These resources.
Let me follow up. Let me just follow up with. I just want to follow up with what you just said now. And isn't it any worrisome, or is it surprising that those who represent us, especially in the National Assembly, be it the red or green chamber, do you think they're really taking this situation of insecurity very seriously? Because apart from Senator Adams Ashimole that you mentioned, I mean, who has been championing the cause, asking that a breakdown of the military budget should be brought forth and those involved should be scrutinized, it seems others are just giving lip service.
Shouted in
others just giving lip service here and there. Do you think that maybe Nigerians need to call on those representing them to step up, as it were?
Yeah, I think there's need for that, because we're all involved here. We are all vulnerable. The fact that we are surviving today, where some of us are not in the kidnappers' den, doesn't mean that it cannot happen tomorrow, right? The people that are in kidnappers' den today, yesterday they were not there, right? So we're all prone to these attacks. We need to ask questions. Even members of the National Assembly, some of them are also, I think the last time I saw a State House of Assembly member that was also kidnapped by these bandits somewhere around the northwest or so. Now we have a general that is in captivity alongside his wife, right? So we're all consumed in the web of these atrocities that we are seeing in this country, that these bandits and criminals are melting on us. The House of Reps, some couple of days ago, I think I saw where they also rose to the occasion, I think courtesy of what they saw, what Adams Ashimole said on this floor of the Senate, and they have called for the service chiefs to come, and the IGP and all that, and the Minister of Finance to come. These monies, do you release it to these agencies of government or security agencies? Are they using the monies for the purpose that is meant for? We need to ask questions. Right? Because at the end of the day, you discover that out of 100% of our budget, maybe it's around 40 or 30% that is carried out in the budget implementation. So there's a lot that we need to do, right? We need to ask questions as citizens of this country, because the way the country is going, today you hear rescue of 300 persons, and tomorrow you hear kidnapping of 500 persons.
It's almost like
it's
a vicious circle.
Just because we're shortly running out of time, I would like to pose this last question to Mr. Ale. We've been talking about the guns and shooting side of it, the enforcement side of it, but let's look at the non-kinetic. And when I say non-kinetic, I'm not asking for criminals to be forgiven. I'm talking about the pipeline that produces this terrorist. What makes it easy for them to join this criminal groups and terrorist groups? So you have 20 million out-of-school kids. You have widespread poverty across the nation. And what the governors seem to be interested in these days is building flyovers. The FCT minister is commissioning bridges and roads. And we hardly do anything about human development capacity, the human beings that live in this country, which has become a conduit for producing violent extremist groups and individuals that are willing to join their cause. So what can the government do in that regard? And why are they not focusing? You can't shoot your way out of an insurgency.
Thank you so much for the question you just asked me, and thank you all for listening today. One of the key things the government should do is this. There's what you call internship working scheme that actually needs to be rolled out and needs to be announced by the National Orientation Agency in Nigeria. I don't think they've actually done anything as regards to that. And equally, there's what you call some kind of security bootcamp training program that should be equally given to a lot of people that wants to perhaps partake in securing our borders, our communities and stuff. When the president announced the issue of the military and the police withdrawing back from VIPs, I was expecting the government or the president to say, okay, there's going to be a pilot scheme or there's going to be a budget for voluntary people that wants to partake in delivering training program and stuff like that. But sadly, nothing of such was actually done so far. So these are part of the key problems that we have. However, we can equally come together and start delivering some kind of DIY training program to let people have handy things to do, both in the farm, again, both in the IT sector and so many places. But if they don't have ideas of what to do or no provision given to them in all this, then it's certainly going to happen. And this is one of the key problems we're having. A lot of idle people are around in Nigeria today, and no one is talking about it. Rather, what we're hearing here and there has got to do with politics and party members and party members. It's definitely not going to help. For anything to help us in this country, we need to keep our youth working, we need to keep them busy, and the only way is transparency and something for them to do to put food on the table for them.
All right. Well, I think a lot has been said. I want to say thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us to highlight some of these angles and aspects that we need to look into as insecurity continues to rise. Thank you so much, Dr. Okoye, for joining us. And thank you so much, Mr. Ale, for speaking with us as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. We'll bring the conversation back home here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll recall that we started the show by mentioning, unfortunately, on a lighter note, the match between Mexico and South Africa and how a number of Nigerians seem to be throwing their support to Mexico for obvious reasons. The federal government is repatriating Nigerians from South Africa due to the xenophobic attacks. And as a result, we'll be bringing you updates of these Nigerians as they come back into Lagos. We have our correspondent, Israel Eferabo, who is live with us this morning. Israel, good morning. Where are you? And can you give us an update regarding this story? Israel, I don't know if it's from your end.
There's a delay.
To you,
yeah, okay,
Benga, and Joe Hansen as well.
All right, Israel, go ahead.
All right, so I was just extending pleasantries with the three of you in the studios. You look beautiful this morning, and also Benga and Joe. But what is not so pleasant this morning is the fact that the 268 Nigerians that we were told left South Africa a few hours ago, about last night, so to speak, yet to arrive here at the cargo terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. What we have here is a situation where we were told that the flight will touch down here in Lagos at about 5 a.m. Much later, we got word that it will be at 9 a.m. From 5 a.m., now 9 a.m. Now we understand that the flight has also been delayed, and now the expected time of arrival is now put at 11 a.m. So that is the situation here at the cargo terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport here in Lagos, where we await the arrival of the over 200 Nigerians airlifted from South Africa. We also got word a few minutes ago that the reported 268 Nigerians who boarded, the number reduced to about 262. Apparently, 6 people were not on that flight after clearance, as we understand, due to some reasons that we are yet to be able to clarify from authorities. But indeed, those 6 Nigerians were not on that flight. So we're no longer expecting 268. We're expecting 262 Nigerians who were airlifted from South Africa by the Nigerian government a few hours ago from Johannesburg. We also do understand that the minister will be coming in. We're flying into Lagos today to also receive them, while the Consul General of Nigeria to South Africa will be he's already accompanying the Nigerians, these 262 Nigerians into the country. They are airborne right now, and we're expecting them to be here at about 11 o'clock. But a quick background to why we are here today. It is indeed the history of xenophobic attacks in South Africa, not just on Nigerians but other African nationals as well. Indeed, there have been talks of threats to lives, to property, harassment here and there, to their businesses and livelihoods, and indeed the threats to their life. And it's touched on lots of Africans we saw a situation where there was ordinary citizens in South Africa walking up to other citizens who are not of South African descent, asking questions: are you South African? Where are your papers? And these were questions, that raised a lot of fear in the minds, in the hearts and minds of these foreign nationals in South Africa. And this is why we are here today. For the Nigerians that are coming in today, we hope to speak with them and let's get their thoughts on how the experience has been so far with them and this voluntary repatriation back to Nigeria. Olive?
All right.
Now, Israel, what time are you expecting this flight to touch down in Lagos, so we can hopefully we'll be able to touch base with you when they land, maybe speak to one or two of the repatriated citizens?
Well, Benga, we are, barring any sort of delays, the ETA is meant to be 11 a.m. Nigerian time. We understand the flights are actually now took off at about 6 a.m. Nigerian time, and that's about 5 a.m. South African time. So, yes, 11 a.m. is the expected time of arrival for these 262 Nigerians to get into Nigerian airspace and then they touch down here at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport here in Lagos. I do hope that I will be able to speak to some of them so they can speak to talk to us about their experiences and indeed what the mood and what the feeling is like now that they are back home, free from any sort of threats from South Africans, as we have seen on social media. We've heard some testimonies as well, and indeed we'll try to see if we can get word from them when they touch down here at the cargo terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in just about 3 hours from now. So hopefully we'll be crossing back to the studio to bring updates here and there, and indeed maybe also speak to the Consul General and the Minister. We understand the Minister of Foreign Affairs, we understand, will be Minister of State for Foreign Affairs will be here as well to receive this returnees. Hopefully we can get some scoop and get more details of why this flight was delayed and what's the plan for these returnees back here in Nigeria. Benga?
All right.
Thank you very much, Israel. Always a pleasure speaking with you. And finally, on a lighter note, I know you've been to South Africa recently, and South Africa plays Mexico. What side would you be rooting for as the World Cup opens today?
Football is a sport that brings the world together. I will be rooting for a side that embraces peace, embraces solidarity, embraces oneness and brotherliness. I'm quite sure you know who that country will be. Don't put me on that spot right now, Benga.
A very great diplomatic answer from you, Israel. We'll see in person.
Thank you very much, Israel. Let's bring the conversation back. Speaking about the World Cup opener, there's a video, and I don't know if our producers have that video ready. A young man went on social media ranting about the South Africa-Mexico match, and it's obviously a Nigerian based abroad. I believe he lives in Canada. And there was a video of him. It was very funny, talking about the side that he's supporting. I don't know if our production team has the video ready. If they don't have it now, we're going to play it before the end of the show.
Absolutely.
It was so hilarious when he was saying, Mexico is playing South Africa. Nigerians, I hope you know who we are supporting. I don't want to say everything he said because it was funny, and I don't want it to lose the humorous effect that he had on me.
But who will you be supporting?
I am on the lost side.
Joe?
The one who plays best,
May the best
team win.
Yeah.
Well, I am not supporting South Africa because I don't want them to accuse us of taking their jobs, of supporting them. Yeah, so I'm supporting Mexico.
Okay.
Some of my ancestors are Mexicans.
Oh, really? Tell me about it.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Anyway, talking about support, a lot of Nigerians are now in support of the Senate Committee on Public Accounts that has ordered the arrest of former Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari. The directive follows his repeated failure to honor invitations to explain discrepancies involving over 200 trillion naira in unaccounted public funds. Take note, it's public funds. It means your money, your money.
Taxpayers' funds.
Your taxpayers' money is involved and it's gone. The administrative query stems from a comprehensive report from the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, tracking the company's financial records between 2017 and 2023. And during the committee sitting on Wednesday, Edo North lawmaker Adams Oshiomhole expressed concern over the continuous disregard of legislative invitations and subsequently moved a motion for the arrest warrant, effectively splitting opinions among panel members, with some lawmakers pleading for more time due to reported medical travels, while others demanded immediate institutions enforcement. Well, let's just watch this footage.
Mr. Chairman, this committee must have the courage, the will to deploy its powers as enunciated in the Nigerian Constitution and issue warrant, not tomorrow, today, and bring Mele Kyari, even dead or alive, in law. They what we call habeas corpus. Even if he's dead, we want to see the body. And he will account. And you should say, here lies a man who died without accounting for his alleged crime that rose into trillions of naira. We are not talking of billions of naira. At the time when the country is borrowing money, we have huge sums of money that have not been accounted for. There are serious issues not raised by laymen, raised by competent auditors. And the man is joking. Where did he have the money to pay for his medical bill in Germany?
Those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. We hereby rule now that anywhere Mele Kyari, the former GMD of NNPC, be brought to the committee, should be arrested and be brought before the committee immediately.
Okay, so Nigerians, wherever you are, if you're in Abuja, you are in Kaduna, you are in Sokoto, or better still in Enugu, or you are in somewhere in the southwest, talking about somewhere in Ibadan, and you spot a former GMD of NNPC, please alert the security operatives. That's what it is, because the Senate committee sitting have said he must be brought in dead or alive. I don't understand what that means, but if you don't, well, you could also help out. Simply means he must be brought in at all costs, period.
Well, I mean, the current word is that is out on medical...
Why is it that whenever those in authority, after they've committed a crime or have been said to commit a crime, the first point of call or the first thing they say when they are wanted or called in for questioning is that they have medical issues?
And because...
Why is it that people don't like to be accountable? Can you remember the incident of Off Your Mic?
I was about to say that.
Until that guy was about to kiss him, woke up and said, stop it.
That's panding now.
Yes.
Panding now. When he fainted.
They wanted to give him mouth-to-mouth.
They wanted to give him resuscitation. He now said,
don't go there.
Don't do that. I don't do so. Don't try it. Small thing like this, once they ask you to come and defend yourself, you collapse.
It's medical issues.
To where? Yeah, move to where? Going for medical analysis anyway.
But we're waiting for the poster, the popular EFCC poster.
No, this is from the House of Reps, so maybe EFCC is just observing.
They're observing.
For now.
No problem. Let's move on to another story.
The House of Representatives says it will vote to amend the nation's constitution to allow for the creation of state police in the country as part of measures to address rising insecurity in the country. The Deputy Speaker and Chairman of the House Committee on Constitutional Review, Benjamin Kalu, disclosed this at a media briefing shortly after plenary, saying that the Parliament has decided to prioritize the issue of state police ahead of other constitutional amendments. He says all members who are currently out of Abuja for oversight have been directed to suspend such activity and return to the Parliament on Thursday for the voting procedure.
As it is today, the structure which have been agreed to by the IGP and his team, national consensus has also arisen on it. The executive, they have bought into it. The governors have bought into it, that there is the need for state police. And the Constitution as it is, if allowed as it is, especially Section 214, and other consequential amendments in that particular Constitution, would not bet the state police that will guarantee what we'll be looking for in the space of security. These gentlemen here have been working hard to amend the Constitution and to prioritize state police, especially now that we are faced with this difficulty around the country. So we are here to announce to Nigerians that hope is coming, that hope to have a better response time to incidents of crime is here, that we have decided, though tough, that by tomorrow we'll be voting on the Constitution, and in that we'll be prioritizing state police.
You let us know what you think. Are you excited about the idea of state police? We're streaming live on YouTube, News Central TV Live. The arguments for and against state police have been an ongoing one. Those who believe that it's the best next move, and others who think that giving that much power to the state will be manipulated and influenced by these governors, especially as we are counting down to the elections. But what side of the divide are you on? Let us know on News Central TV Live. Let's bring you a recap of the conversations we've had this morning and then share with you what's coming up next. This morning on Breakfast Central, we did bring you the Kogi State attack, and we had two security analysts join us to talk about the bandits attacking Kogi School, killing Vice Principal and two others. Mele Kyari has been issued an arrest warrant. He's wanted dead or alive. And then reps will be voting today on state police bill. Your thoughts and your position is important on this. Let's head to YouTube to take comments in a moment. But let's share with you what's coming up next on Breakfast Central. Coming up next on Breakfast Central, we're bringing you an update on the South Africa xenophobic attack. Federal government begins evacuation of Nigerians. The reps will vote on state police bill today, and we'll be talking about the Peter Obi bribery allegations as well. Lawyers have threatened action against Kenneth Okonkwo. There is growing tension between Nigeria and South Africa over xenophobic attacks. In recent weeks, disturbing scenes have emerged from Johannesburg and Pretoria. Shops owned by Nigerians looted, families displaced, and lives lost. The Nigerian government has responded with very strong actions.
Nigeria was one of the strongest supporters of South Africa during the anti-apartheid struggle. We invested billions in aid, scholarships and diplomatic backing. Yet today, Nigerians are being attacked in the very country they helped liberate. Abuja is now weighing strong sanctions targeting South African businesses operating in the country, reviewing bilateral agreements and even considering diplomatic retaliation. But the big question is, will sanctions protect Nigerians, or will they fracture relations between Africa's two largest economies? This is not just a diplomatic spat, it's about the safety of Nigerians abroad and the future of Africa's unity. Joining us for this discussion this morning is the Campaign and Communications Director of Safe South Africa Civic Movement, Tebogo Mashilompane. Welcome to you, Tebogo, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central this morning.
Yeah, good morning. But for Forum for South Africa, not for Safe South Africa.
Thank you so much for that correction. Now, let's start with this. Over the last decade, we've seen on and off xenophobic attacks, but we've never seen such a sustained period like the recent one we're seeing with March and March and Operation Dudula that has caused serious diplomatic spat with Ghanaians with the Ghanaian Foreign Ministry evacuating its citizens, and Nigeria also sending evacuation flights to repatriate its citizens. What do you think is responsible for this on and off pattern of xenophobic attacks, or Afrophobic attacks, as many have termed it in South Africa?
Yeah. No, look, we've called on our government from Forum for South Africa. We have cautioned government previously to say it is the government's failure. That is why we see this situation. Remember, every country has its own laws. Every country has its own immigration laws. So South Africa allowed the situation to continue, especially on the issues of illegal immigration, where the law was not enforced, until to a point that the citizens stood up on their own and decided to do the job of government. That is why there's tension between government and South African organizations, because the failure is the government's. Because if the government did its own job, followed the laws of this country, and then made sure that everything is well, but they allowed the situation to perpetuate. And our government is guilty when coming to issues of immigration and what is currently happening in the country. We put the blame on the government squarely because it is the failure of the government to maintain and to protect the citizens. So, but they did not do that. So,
network connectivity issues there with our guest who's joining us to speak on the xenophobic and, you could say, the repatriation that's currently ongoing for countries such as Nigeria and Ghana, not forgetting the others. But we hope that he's able to connect again so that we can have this conversation in full measure to understand deeply also what the government is doing to put boots on ground. But I think you're back. You can go on from where you stopped.
No, I was saying we've cautioned our government. We told them that the manner in which they are addressing the issue or not addressing the issue is going to go out of hand. And then we see that because the organizations that you mentioned, they already started pushing people away and so forth. But we blame the government, not them per se, because it's the government that failed to do its duties.
All right. Do you think that evacuation, or you could say repatriation of nationals, especially by countries, does it look good for South Africa looking into diplomatic ties with some of these countries? And going forward, the president did have a State of the Nation address where he had talked about citizens not going to harass others, but leaving it for those who have the right to do so, talking about the authorities. But it seems like that statement was just made to the thin air, because after that statement was made, some citizens still continued harassing, people of other nationals, or other nationals rather. So what was done to ensure that the statement the president made was firm and was accepted?
The statement by the president was too late. The president should have addressed this issue long time ago. As far as last year, we cautioned the government about the very same issue. And from what you also mentioned, the relationship is going to be tainted between South Africa and other countries. So that is why, from our point as force, we always maintain that the issue should be about illegal immigrants, not foreigners in general. Because if people come to the country legally and they remain legal in the country, nobody must harass such particular people, because we also travel to other countries and then we don't expect to be harassed. But our government, as I said, allowed this situation. The president spoke on Sunday, but he was just speaking. It was too late, because the reason he's speaking it is because we are going for elections. So he was trying to balance issues so that people can still have faith in him, because he's from ANC, they can still vote. Because people said, we are not going to vote for ANC, because ANC does not listen to us. So he was just making the speech just to massage the situation. But his speech didn't go to any ear because it was too late. He should have addressed the issue. The issue is not addressed in simple terms.
So what sort of changes need to be made? Yes, you say that the president spoke a little too late, but we can't deny the fact that these attacks have become systemic and ingrained in the mindset of a number of South Africans. Yes, not everyone, but a number of them. What changes need to be done to reverse the effects, of us not seeing each other as one continent, of, some South Africans, yes, demanding better from their government, but also punishing fellow Africans?
Look, this problem started small, and then now it is big. That is why we are saying, why can't the law be enforced? Because what the citizens are asking is that, why is our government not enforcing the laws? Because the laws are very clear. What is happening, it's a failed state. The citizens have taken power to themselves. The citizens have taken responsibility. It's not only about even the issue of people leaving the country. There are many things. Citizens have already taken responsibility because the government has failed the citizens of this country. We are not encouraging people going and pushing people out. That we cannot support. But we are simply saying what is currently happening in South Africa is a government that has failed its own citizens. This is a failed state. Hence, we see people taking a law unto them. Taking the laws into their hands and so forth. And it's not supposed to be like that. But unfortunately, it is like that because the situation has been allowed to continue.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining us and shining the light here, especially letting Nigerians who are concerned know. I bet you also know that this has trickled down to your opening game with Mexico, how a cross-section of African countries are digging support, planning support, hate watch and all that. I don't know if you're aware of that as well. It has led to sports selection, let me say.
Ask him how it makes him feel. How does it make you feel?
I don't know.
Now,
I don't know.
Just before we let you go, I mean, it's been 30-odd years since the end of apartheid, and one of the most shocking things is that South Africa is still one of the most unequal countries in the world. Looking back, do you think the ANC government, who's been in power, has done enough to bridge this inequality? Because the xenophobic and Afrophobic attacks we're seeing is as a result of the inequality and the poverty that exists in the black majority population. And it's crabs in a barrel. You pick the easiest person to you that you can lash out on.
No, you said it. You said it. ANC hasn't bridged that gap. That is why people will resort to certain things and say, this one is taking my job and so forth, because people don't know where to go. That is why I said previously that we are in a government that has failed. South Africa is a failed state. Since ANC took over, everything degenerated. We saw collapse of economy. We saw high rate of unemployment. You can even see now the high rate of unemployment. That on its own tells you that the ANC has failed dismally. And ANC has been in charge for 30 years, 31 years. Now there's a government of GNU, still the same situation. People are unemployed, no jobs, money still being looted, So that is why the tension is so high now. And then even people who are innocent are being targeted and so forth. We continue to discourage targeting of foreigners in the country. We've been vocal about it. We said, not in our name, you can't attack another African. What must happen is that those who are illegal, the president should have spoken earlier about the issue of illegal people in the country and addressed that issue with the countries relevant and also the people that are in the country illegal. But he hasn't done that. So that is why the tension is so high. So we cannot say ANC has done good for us. It isn't. The gap is widened, bigger than before. So people are more poorer than before.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us once again, Tobago. And we hope that this would bring an end to xenophobic attacks, especially with the plans that the president had mentioned. Well, let's just wait and see.
Also, good luck to you, Bafana Bafana, against Mexico. Yeah. One Africa.
Yeah, no, we will play, we'll win. It's one Africa, we need support.
Yes.
Yeah, but the other things, we'll have to deal with them. We need to address these issues. We are one Africa, and then it must remain in that fashion.
Amandla.
Amanda.
Thank you for your time.
All right.
All right. We're going on a very quick break, and we will come back to tell you about the latest update regarding Kenneth Okonkwo and the 48-hour ultimatum given to him to retract allegations he made against Peter Obi on national television. We'll be right back.
Step Up Nigeria, in partnership with a platform to protect whistleblowers in Africa, has marked World Whistleblower Day 2026 with an art and media competition aimed at promoting whistleblowing, accountability and transparency among young Nigerians. The initiative uses creative expression ranging from poetry and essays to music, skits and visual art to encourage conversations around speaking up against wrongdoing in the public interest. Organizers say the program is designed to show how storytelling and media can drive civic awareness and inspire action for better governance. They also stress the need for stronger whistleblower protections while highlighting the growing role of young people in promoting integrity and accountability through creative and civic engagement. Joining us this morning on Breakfast Central, we have winner of the spoken word category of the art and media competition, Anita Nwokoji joins us, and also director of programs at Step Up Nigeria. We have Ferami Iyonda, and then we have one more guest who's right there in the studios in Abuja joining us this morning. We also have Gabriel Oguche, who is the winner written category. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
That's right. I'm going to start off first with you, Ferami. Let me go to the question. What is the World Whistleblower Day Art and Media Competition? And why was this launched, especially now that we're in a country where whistleblowing seems to be not what everyone wants to associate with? So can you enlighten us?
Thank you. Glad to be here. Our World Whistleblower Day Art and Media Competition was our way of inviting youth into a conversation where their voices had previously not been heard. World Whistleblower Day is celebrating the unsung heroes, people who have put their lives on the line to tell important stories and uncover wrongdoing in the interest of the public, like you said. And we're trying to encourage young people that governance shouldn't be abstract. It shouldn't be things that you talk about only on X, but you can get involved. And so we invited young people through creative expression, as you've mentioned, art, music, skit making, drawing, poetry, essays, all the likes, to encourage people to support and speak up for whistleblowers whose voices are otherwise silent, but also to advocate for more people to be interested in integrity, accountability, good governance, and of course, interested in whistleblowing. So we are introducing a topic to young people that they've previously not been talking about. And we think it's important because, as we said, in Nigeria of today, darkness is why things are hidden for so long. We need to shine, spotlight wrongdoing, bring it to the public fair so that we can take action to stop the negative actions, corruption, and other things that young people are strongly against.
This is really exciting to hear, Ferami, because often on this show, one thing we've all complained about is the fact that our moral compass seems to be broken, and the work that you're doing is restoring that. So thank you and well done. I'll bring Anita into the conversation now. First of all, congratulations, Anita, the winner. Tell us about your experience with the competition. What work are you doing? And tell us about, how that work has helped you win the competition,
So, yes, my name is Anita Nwokoji, and I am a spoken word artist. And I always love to identify myself as a socially conscious artist. The work of a socially conscious artist is to shed light and create awareness, talk about social issues affecting the economy, the nation, and whistleblowing. When I saw the contest, I saw it was an avenue to talk about something affecting the society and creating awareness. I didn't just want to create a regular piece. I wanted something that would be relatable to the common man. And poetry is one form of art that can make a complex matter, simplify it so that the average Nigerian can be able to understand, can be able to communicate. So I really wanted to do something that would urge any young person to understand that it is fine, it's normal, but what you do matters. Speaking up protects wrongdoing. Staying silent protects wrongdoing. But when you speak up, you're protecting an entire community. So I wanted my piece to be about that. And I've always been about social change. And this is what, even if I didn't win, I was glad that I created my piece. And it spoke to people. People understood what whistleblowing meant. And people understood that, okay, there is a law. There's something like whistleblowing law. And right now, we just need it to be implemented here in Nigeria.
I'm very excited to hear you speak, Anita, and well done on the work you're doing. just so you can prepare yourself, I may be putting you on the spot before we wrap up to share an excerpt of your piece with us. But I'll hand over to my colleague, Benga.
Yeah, I'd like to bring Gabriel into the conversation. Congratulations, Gabriel, and for your victory. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and the work that you did that made you a winner as we celebrate you today?
Thank you very much. My name is Oguche Gabriel Onuche. I'm a writer, storyteller, and poet, and I'm the winner for the written category of the World Whistleblower Media and Art Competition. Apart from writing, I have very strong interest in public health, and I've been volunteering so much in public health fields around climate change and so many things that have to do with, the development space in general. But I like to use my art for advocacy to talk about things that really matter, ranging from mental health issues to whistleblowing as it is right now. So I wrote an essay titled, "In a World of Loud Evil, Silence is Permission." And here I spoke about whistleblowing in Nigeria, why Nigerians are so hesitant to come forward to talk about wrongdoing and the possible solutions we can prefer to make these things better. Thank you very much.
In a world of loud evil, silence is what?
Permission.
Permission. Thank you very much for doing that. I want to go back to Fermi now. Fermi, this is great work that you have done. Great work that you continue to do. And hearing these winners share how their personal work aligns with, what you're doing, it's just really inspiring. But what would you say are some of the challenges that discourage people? I mean, because of your work, some of the challenges that have discouraged and maybe continue to discourage people from reporting wrongdoing in Nigeria?
Thank you. As you said, part of the problem is the culture. Step Up Nigeria's work is targeted at changing those social norms, those values that have allowed things like corruption to persist and for things like integrity to be stigmatized. You say the right thing, you're punished. You do the wrong thing, you're celebrated. Our work is trying to change that narrative through art, through media, through storytelling, to show people that integrity does matter, doing the right thing does matter, and that wrongdoing should be punished. So we need to shed more light on that. But your question around limitations, of course, one is fear. Currently, we only have a whistleblowing policy in Nigeria that was passed through the Ministry of Finance, but there is no whistleblower protection law in Nigeria as at today. There is no law to protect a whistleblower if they come forward. And because there's this lack of legal protection, it means that people are putting their literal lives on the line when they bring public disclosures. And so our hope through this advocacy is that government would see, and there'll be more pressure for a whistleblower protection bill and a whistleblower protection law to be passed. And then the second challenge, of course, is norms. If you speak up in Nigeria, they'll say it's bad belle or it's jealousy or, you're just a snitch. That is the culture that we're trying to change, to explain to people that speaking up in the interest of the public is actually good and not bad. And we hope the competition does this. Thank you.
Okay, so how do people get in touch with, the competition? How do they participate, rather, in the competition? How often does it hold? Is it something that's done annually? Is it one-off? Or what are the plans? And then also the prizes. What are they? I saw 200,000 in one of the posters or designs. Can you bring us up to speed on what it's all about?
Okay, so the competition is an annual competition. World Whistleblower Day is June 23 every year, and so we hope to do this every year. The competition was with support from the Platform to Protect Whistleblowers in Africa, PLAAF. So with PLAAF, we hope to do this every year. And yes, the winners, we had 5 categories. So each winner in all the 5 categories got 500,000 naira, and the runners-up got 200,000 naira, and the 3rd to 5th position in every category also got medals and prizes. And so this is something that we hope to do every year. If you want to get involved in this or you're interested, you can reach out. Step Up Nigeria is info, I-N-F-O, at stepupnigeria.org, or you can visit PLAAF at www.plaaf.org. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Let's now bring Anita and Gabriel back into the conversation. Anita, I'm going to ask you last, but Gabriel, in the course of your work, what's your writing process like? Do you have to watch a lot of the news? I mean, what inspires or helps guide your writing? Before we come to set Anita up with her spoken word piece.
Thank you very much. I've been writing for quite a long time, and I would say literature really helped me from a very young age. I grew up in a family where my father read a lot of Chinua Achebe, a lot of Shakespeare at home, so that really prepared my mind for writing. And I would say I'm a very strong patriot, nationalist. And yes, I'm always aware of things that go on in Nigeria almost every single day, from social media to, watching television, reading newspapers. But for this competition, preparing for this competition, I had to do some research to understand how big the whistleblowing problem is in the country. And the way I wrote my essay, I tried to spotlight the negative things that have happened to people in the past who have, come forward to say some things and pay the ultimate price for it. In the first paragraphs of my essay, I talk about a celebrated journalist in this country who lost his life. But yes, as I was saying earlier, to get prepared for this particular competition, I had to do a lot of research, a lot of reading, and yes, it came out well. We thank God for that.
All right, it did come out well. Congratulations on that. Anita, one question before you bow us out. The role of young people in being able to ensure, that we protect whistleblowers or to advocate for whistleblowing, what role do young people have to play? And I ask this because, unfortunately, there are a lot of young people that are preoccupied with several other distracting things. It feels like attention span is getting shorter and shorter. Social media sometimes may not be playing the best role. So we hope that young people like you might be able to help remind other young people.
So I would say, yes, social media may not be playing the best role, but this is where being an artist comes in. This is where being a creative person comes in. I always say one thing: I am a prophet with a message, and I must take this message to my people. So I want every young person to walk with that mindset. You are a prophet with a message. Whether you are sewing, whether you're bead making, whatever you are doing, you are to serve a people. And in serving a people, whatever you do is connected to the Sustainable Development Goal. Whistleblowing is connected to the Sustainable Development Goal. If we want a nation, the nation that we desire, I urge young people to come out and stand up. It's not just only getting your PVC, get your values right. And when you have your values right, please use your social media for the right thing.
What a wonderful way to wrap up the conversation. And now the prophet to our generation, please help us end the conversation with a 30-second spoken word piece as we wrap up this conversation.
I want to speak the truth, but my hands are tied to the ledgers, inked, trapped with every signature that does not belong to me. Columns constricting my wrists like patient snake hissing relentlessly. Balance it, bury it, behave. On the 7th floor, arithmetic becomes what arithmetic, an acrobatic performance of flipping, folding, performing for an audience called authority. Balance is far from this sheet as it is trimmed by arrangement called standard procedure. As a junior accountant, fresh and hot with my 2-1, but to make it to the flesh skies, I must make this match shift pant. My great decimals, add more zeros, make dishonesty hasty enough to sit neatly in the column, sign it with certainty to get a promotion. My supervisor say I must manage. It is a recommendation if you want to survive.
Wow. Wow. I think you deserve this bell celebration. Our bell of applause. Well done. It's a switch for me. 1 minute you're talking, the next minute you got into character. Well done. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Step Up Nigeria, and kudos for the good work you're doing. Thank you very much. Let's take the conversation away from Nigeria, whistleblowing, and what's happening in that regard. And we head to South Africa. We have our correspondent, Bongani Siziba, who's talking to us about the latest regarding the xenophobic attacks in South Africa, as well as the African nationals who are ensuring that their citizens are being repatriated back to their country, for example, Nigeria, which is happening today. Hello, Bongani. Good morning. What's the update? Where are you at the moment?
Yes, Olive, good morning, and also good morning to our viewers. I just spoke to the authorities, Nigerian authorities, this morning. We left the airport at around 12:01 a.m., and the Nigerians who were supposed to be repatriated were still at the airport. And this morning I spoke to the Nigerian authorities that told me that the flight later left at 5 a.m., that is South African time, which is around 6 a.m. Nigerian time. So maybe it's expected to arrive in Nigeria in 5 or 6 hours time, calculating from 6 a.m. Nigerian time. But however, there's a lot that goes on at the airport, knowing very well that these Nigerians, most of them, have been here in South Africa their whole life, but they had to pack just 2 or 3 bags to carry back home, living the whole life that they have lived here. What does this mean? It means they only have to carry things that are valuable, and you find some of them, they put things that are not required at the airport to pass through with. So it's a lot that was going on when some of them, their bags had to be reopened, removing those things that are not needed at the aircraft. 268 people, it's a lot of people. So those are some of the delays that we saw happening there. And also they were using emergency traveling documents. Some of them, they don't even have passports. So the immigration also had to check all that to let them through via the check-in. But Olive, I have some South Africans here that I would like to speak to them about these repatriations and all these protests that are going on, what their sentiments are. Good morning and thank you for joining us. We have seen countries, African countries, repatriating their citizens from South Africa, and with these tensions that has been going. Your take on this?
Actually, it's a good thing to see countries taking part in this repatriation. It's actually showing that the cries of the South Africans who are saying illegal foreigners must go home are heard. You know, it will be worrying if they were not playing a part, because they are their people and they know that anyone who migrates to a country must follow the rules of the countries. Firstly, the immigration laws that says you have to stay for a certain time, and when the time has passed, you must actually leave for home.
Talking about the protests that we have seen, some of foreign nationals being attacked, some with documents.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that even the documented ones were attacked in a way, because now sometimes some are even reluctant to release their papers. Some of them, they've got their papers that are at home, and at that time it's not easy for someone just to believe that you are documented if you don't have anything to prove. It's just unfortunate, but mostly those that were that left are those that were in the country illegally, and we have seen them struggling and some resorting to crimes, you know, such things. So yeah, it is a good thing that they went home. They should just do the right things when they want to come back to the country, or maybe try to seek life in their countries where they are.
But let's also speak about one Africa, one Ubuntu. And now we have other African countries sidelining South Africa, especially with everything that we are seeing. Do you think we are going to build a united Africa if things are going like this?
That is the issue. I think there is a misconception here. The people who are marching are making it clear that they are talking about illegal foreigners. But then what we see in other African countries like your Ghanas, your Nigerias that have went to attack South African businesses like your ShopRite, your MTN, it is a matter of a misconception, because surely those companies that are in those countries and those people that are there, I know South Africans to be following rules and regulations wherever they are. I, for one, am someone who travels to countries, and before I go there, I check what are their rules and their regulations and follow them. But then we have most of the people that are in South Africa and who are just showcasing lawlessness. But then it's not a good thing for them to start attacking South Africans who are legal in their countries just to as a form of a revenge, you see.
Thank you so much. Olive, just you heard the sentiments of some of the citizens here about how they feel about foreign nationals that are in the country, especially those that are undocumented. So going back to the repatriation of the Nigerians, we also understand that this is the first batch that left early this morning, and we're going to have the second batch that will leave on Monday. And also, it's not only Nigerians that are leaving. We saw Ghana people, we saw Malawians, we saw Zimbabweans. Also, repatriations are ongoing here in South Africa, following the anti-migrant sentiments that we've been seeing on the streets of South Africa. It's back to you in the studio for now.
Thank you very much, Bongani, for bringing us that update. We will continue to follow up here as Israel is stationed at the airport as well to bring updates when the Nigerians land here. Thank you for your time with us. Well, it's quite, I think I would say mixed feelings.
Yeah, I
understand when he talks about undocumented migrants. But undocumented migrants, some being an undocumented migrant, is that a reason for them to be attacked?
Then have you become immigration or customs or police to check one's immigration status?
These are the same people that criticize us.
I don't recall any Nigerian harassing foreigners on the road and asking them for their immigration status. It's not for you. And that's what the president said. And our first guest earlier did highlighted that, a little too late for President Cyril Ramaphosa. But safety comes first. I mean, life has no copies if you're in Nigeria, because they have been saying 30th of June is the deadline. I've seen videos on social media of South Africans sharpening their machetes, saying coming for any foreigners that remain after 30th of June, which is quite unfortunate.
I really hope
history.
I really hope they understand what this does to them as a country and as a people, especially
they would understand
in terms
tonight.
of. Yeah, I really wish they said tonight, because you're looking at the football game. I mean, I'm talking about what it does to them.
You might think it's I'm being jocular here, but it does have serious implications. People's perceptions. Olive had plans to go to Cape Town. I don't think she'll be going to Cape Town.
I mean, all that touring, all that adverts
you think I
of,
want to spend my hard
come to South Africa. Everyone is going to have a
that is not welcoming to fellow blacks like me.
Because
and I am even exceptionally black. So I might even get worse treatment than Olive, who is caramel in color, or you that you are chocolate in color.
I mean, I might easily pass for another national. So
maybe Malawi, I give you Malawian.
Sudan. You look Sudanese.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on now.
The part that I wanted to speak about very quickly was something that Bongani said that we didn't think about. The fact that some people's whole lives will be reduced to 2 suitcases.
It's sad. After
they've lived
years
in South
of
Africa for like 23 years or
and grinding.
30 years, and today they will come back with 2 suitcases and one.
Where would they pick up their lives from?
I don't know.
Very unfortunate. And
I just hope they're allowed to transfer their money into
I don't even know.
Account.
While we're talking about the divisions outside of Nigeria, let's come back to the ones within the country. Tension has heightened in Delta State as Ishekiri protesters shut down key oil facilities in the Warri Southwest local government area. The demonstrators are grieved by the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC's war delineation exercise, have occupied the Renaissance-operated Ogudigbe Flow Station, Chevron's EGTL gas plant, and the Otumara facility. They insist that they will maintain the occupation until their grievances regarding electoral representation are addressed. This action comes barely 48 hours after ethnic leaders in Warri Federal Constituency signed a peace accord with Governor Sheriff Oborevwori in Asaba, pleading to end the disruption of oil operations. Austin Azua, correspondent, as well as Victor Laju, the National Vice Chairman, Ugborodo Community, were there. Let's take a look at this report.
All right, we are currently at Ogudigbe Flow Station in Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State. Behind me, you can see the protesters protesting against what they described as injustice meted on them by INEC, and they are venting their anger and their frustration over what INEC has done to them so far. And of course, you know the war delineation exercise has created a lot of debacle in Warri Federal constituency. We have Victor Laju to talk to us how the protest is going. All right, Victor, good to meet you. Good day to you, sir.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Okay, why the choice of this protest, and why did you choose to come to this flow station, and what do you intend to achieve with this protest?
Yeah, the reason for this protest is that INEC want to extirpate Ishekiri Nation from existence. INEC want to extirpate Ishekiri Nation from existence, and we cannot fold our hand to see that happen as a nation. So INEC deliberately wrongly map our environment, wrongly map our world, our Warri Federal world and unit, wrongly. And that we have come here to correct by telling INEC that this is wrong and this cannot stand. It will not stand. Anything other than that, anything, we have asked INEC to do it like this, 12 for our neighbor, while 8 for us, to create a balance. Because the Ishekiri Nation in Warri Federal constituency, they are the protagonists. They are the protagonists, and that cannot be taken from them.
Okay, now why the choice of this particular flow station, and what do you intend to achieve with this?
Yes, we intend to drag home our points. We intend to ask INEC to do the right thing. That's the reason why we come here.
So can you put the statistics together? How many flow stations you have shut down in Warri Southwest and in Shekiri Nation over this protest?
We have shut down about 10 to 11 flow stations. We shut down this flow station. We shut down Otumara. We shut down Sagara. We also shut down other flow stations along the line. We shut down the EGTA gas project. We also shut down the tank farm. We also shut down the EG3. We shut all of this facility down as we speak.
So how do you intend to open this facility? What are your demands for you to open this facility? And how much Nigeria is going to lose from this shutdown of these facilities you just mentioned?
Nigeria will lose over 85% of the crude oil production in this nation as we shut down. And we are looking forward also, because there's going to be a meeting with the state government and the tribes that are involved, the 3 tribes that are involved in this agitation, and the resultant effects will make us to live here.
Okay, now the state government had a stakeholders meeting with the 3 ethnic nationalities in Asaba recently. Are you not satisfied with that position of the state government that everyone should shoot their sword while negotiation continues?
Yes, that was the stand. You will see that some of our leaders even go on the air to state clearly that what the state government said, they approve it, they agreed. Over the night, we see our neighbor do otherwise. You understand? And that explains the reason why we come here to create a statement so that we can have a point home.
A lot of persons have said this is likely to be sabotaged. Do you agree with that?
Negative. This is our facility. We cannot sabotage it. We cannot. This is our homeland. We cannot sabotage it. We cannot sabotage it.
All right, you are the National Vice Chairman, Borodo Community. Can you confirm to us if work is ongoing in that facility or not?
Yes, the production is done. The production is done as we speak. Everything is on a stay. Everything has to stay first.
Okay. Thank you very much, Victor Laju. We appreciate you for your time. All right, we have Austin Ajuremisan, Vice Chairman, Borodo Community Management Committee. All right, sir, kindly bring us to speed. You people have occupied this facility right now, and we have been told that other facilities have been shut down. Are you not concerned about how much Nigeria is going to lose from this protest?
Yes, though we are concerned, but the needful must be done. Federal government need to do the needful. For example, when you beat your child, you are not beating the child because you hate the child, but you are beating the child because you want to correct the child. So what we are doing is a kind of correcting measure, because enough has been done to us as in Shekiri. We are giving more. We are just like the bird that lays the golden egg, but having nothing to show for it. So we have been marginalized, and that's why this protest is a concern to us.
So like you people rightly stated that you are going to remain here until the federal government hears your cry. Now, besides that, what else do you want Nigerians to know about this protest?
Okay, this protest, we want Nigeria to know first that we fraud the boundary adjustment that was done. We say no to it. And the mapping that was fraudulently done by INEC, we also, by the boundary commission, we said no to it. Then the proposal that was presented by INEC for the Warri Federal constituency delineation, we said no to it. So that's the reason this protest is on.
Thank you very much, Ed Austin Ajuremisan. Thank you very much. All right, from the protesters you can see behind me, and of course they promise to hang around here and stop production until the federal government listen to them. And not just only that, they want the injustice done to them by INEC to be corrected so that they themselves will be happy to be part of the ongoing exercise by INEC to create more wards and polling units in Warri Federal constituencies. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you. I had hoped that it was Uhuru after the ceasefire agreement was signed, the peace deal was signed with Governor Sheriff Obere. We're hearing them say they're still going to hang around Escravos. I wonder what the next steps will be in this regard. Thank you very much. All right, still bringing updates this morning. We do have correspondent Bernard Akede joining us as well.
Lead correspondent.
I must mention that our lead correspondent Bernard Akede bringing us updates regarding the Oyo Town Hall that will be happening today in Oyo State. Hello, Bernard. Can you speak to us about what the expectations are? What is the mood like in Oyo State this morning?
All right. Good morning, Olive. Good morning, Benga and Joe. Yes, you clearly mentioned we are in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, and of course our conversation this morning or today is the spate of insecurity, not just in Oyo State as a matter of fact. We're extending it beyond Oyo and we're looking at the entire southwestern region. If you remember, late last year, 2025, I was in Eruku community in Kwara State, and then after that, Ni, our other correspondent, went to the same Kwara State with a different location, Woro, and then even Israel also went to another location in Kwara State, and we've been seeing these, cases of insecurity, particularly banditry and kidnapping, spreading across the southwest. So our conversation today is going to be centered around, the recent happenings. The most recent one being, of course, the abduction of school children and their teachers. Now, the part where one needs to be careful is if we keep overlooking the fact that these are people and not just statistics, they'll be treated as such, and that's why this conversation at this time is quite important, and indeed it's a delicate and sensitive one. So the mood, as you have mentioned, well, we have people in Ibadan here going about their daily businesses, but that doesn't mean, that the conversation itself is still not, top of mind. And of course, that is the reason why we're spreading it beyond just Oyo State. If you also, and to conclude with the question, if you look at the geography of the area, you see that these assailants have been taking advantage of, the bushes and the forests that adjoin these southwestern states. We're talking about states like Osun, Oyo, Kwara, Ekiti, Ondo, and of course, by the time you begin to spread like that, Ogun is not far-fetched, and of course, once you get to Ogun, Lagos is just a few hours away. So it has become, of course, a cause for concern, and that is why at this time, New Central Town Hall series is in Ibadan, Oyo State.
Very timely, we must say. And Bernard, today, the conversation will definitely focus on insecurity and how the people of Oyo State can find a way to work with the government and bring succor to themselves and, of course, the community. But before it starts, can you give us an update on the timing, who some of the speakers are, and were you and the team able to meet with members, especially from the government?
All right, so the timing, of course, 11 a.m., that has been, our tradition for town hall, except unless otherwise. But 11 a.m., we believe that we'll be able to start, 11 a.m. on the dot. The conversation should take us 2 to 3 hours, hopefully. Speaking about government officials, well, yesterday we were able to, 2 days ago when we arrived at town, we were at the army, at the army base to see the GOC, that's the General Officer Commanding 2 Division. Unfortunately, we were unable to meet with him. We met with the Chief of Staff, who told us that these are very, very serious times, and that, his bosses were as at then in the bushes themselves with the tactical teams trying to secure the rescue, and the safe return of some of, or if not all, of the kidnapped victims. But besides him, we were also able to meet with the Commissioner of Police yesterday and a group of his senior officers who equally, or with whom we equally spoke about, concerns that people have been raising, talking about security, how security operatives can partner and collaborate with residents and indigents, of course, because, matters concerning security will not be handled by one agency alone. It's a collaborative effort, as they stated. But then for those who were expecting, like we've had in the past, we're expecting several government officials to grace the occasion. We're expecting community leaders. We paid a courtesy visit, or we did try to the to the Olubadan, I beg your pardon, of Ibadan. We were unable to meet with him, but we have extended an invitation to him and his office, hoping that we'll get some kind of response from there. Traditional chiefs around, we equally have religious leaders. We have scholars from the academia. We have, the young and old, of course, who will be here as well. One notable speaker we will have is Dr. Obiese Kwesili, who will equally be joining us here today. And then most importantly, as you know, the town hall is about the people, most importantly, and so we are expecting to have victims themselves who have been, at one point or the other, abducted and regained their freedom. And for where we do not have victims, we have family members. Just yesterday, we were able to speak to some of the victims who gained freedom in Eruku community in Kwara State. If you remember, I was there myself late last year, I think in November, and they gave us some very, very touching details of the experience that they went through while they were in abduction. In their own case, they were away for about 8 days in the bushes, walking several kilometers. At some point, those who were, completely exhausted had to be carried on motorcycles, according to them. They couldn't even describe where they were taken to, but they know that they walked for hours, as a matter of fact, for days. Unfortunately, this has been the story of many people who have been kidnapped and who have regained their freedom. So these are the people, on whom we will be anchoring our conversation for today, and then others will be respondents who will be giving us suggestions and possible solutions, to bring this menace to an end.
Thank you so much, Bernard Akede, and we'll definitely implore every single Nigerian to keep their eyes especially fixed on the screens when it starts. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to join you again. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll focus on one of the biggest football, you'd say, fiesta, showpiece, name it. Sporting, yes. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. So I know you're expecting the front pages of the newspapers. Yes, we'll get into that as time permits. But for now, let's talk about the countdown, which is officially on. And it's got to do with one big attention the world is giving it. It's giving the attention to the biggest spectacle in sports, particularly football. The FIFA World Cup 2026 is set to kick off today. Now, bringing together the world's best nations, star players, and millions of passionate fans in what promises to be the largest edition of the tournament yet. Hosted across 3 countries, United States, Canada, and Mexico, the competition will feature an expanded format with more teams, more matches, and even greater excitement as countries battle for football's most coveted prize. Joining us from the sports desk, we have News Central's sports anchor, the one and only Onyego joins us this morning. Hey, what's good? Onyechi, what's happening?
Award winning.
I beg your pardon. Internationally
renowned, award-winning sports journalist.
And I'm not at the World Cup.
Hey,
wow.
No.
Well, we understand that.
Unfortunately, because of what's happening, the tensions,
visa issues.
Thank you.
We don't want to talk about that.
Thank you so much for the solace. But
have you? I don't know if you've renewed your visa. So
I have a valid visa. Don't worry.
She has a valid visa.
So
but
the
there were
reason why
issues
you're not at
as
the
well.
World Cup is because we need to have you on ground analyzing things with us in
my
real
analysis
time.
is very, very
grassroots analysis.
Thank you very much, which I'm going to do from here. It's so great to be on the show.
It's great to have you. There's a video we're going to start off with, Olive.
Yes, interesting video. I mean, this video was making the rounds on social media for obvious reasons. Now, throughout the course of the show, we brought you reports from South Africa regarding the xenophobic attacks, the repatriation of Nigerians from South Africa to Nigeria today. As a result, I mean, they're going to be landing at 11 a.m. today, according to our correspondent. Without all things being equal, we should expect to see them at 11. But as a result of these xenophobic attacks, South Africa is losing a lot of fans. And this one here is a Nigerian living in Canada, and this is what he has to say.
I hope every Nigerian knows who we are supporting for this match. There is one country here that lets us come to their country without visa. Even when we go there, they let us enjoy the country well. On Thursday, my name is Don Caliandro. Don Caliandro, Mexico, por favor, si deja pete futebol. Please, por favor. On Thursday like this, my name is Don Caliandro, because you go bloody. Please, we all know who we are supporting. Let me hear your name in the comment section. My own name is Don Caliandro Javier Epifanio.
Call me Benkene Gonzalez.
What's your own name?
I think I'll go for Chavez. Wow. Chavez.
Okay, I'm not into drugs, but because I like the character of Teresa Mendoza in Queen of the South, you can call me Teresa Mendoza.
So you can call me Paloma.
Okay.
So nobody is dancing Amapiano tonight?
No, Amapiano. You know what's even funny? I saw a comment on social media. Someone said, he's so invited to the carne asada. So carne asada is like the equivalent of black people saying, oh, he's welcome to the cookout. Someone then replied in Nigeria and said, hi, what do you think my Mexican name should be? Then the Mexican replies, your name would be, in Mexico, would be something like Esme. But if you want to go full Mexican, something like Esmeralda Guadalupe. Guess what she did? She went on Instagram, changed her name to Esmeralda Guadalupe. Nigerians are not taking
why the hatred though here? What's going on?
A lot of
things.
Is it justified? Of course. I don't know if it's justified.
Is football the only ground to use to clarify or to solve?
Yes, of course. This is where it's a unifying factor, and it's a place where you can also share your opinion. Political tensions can be doused a little bit. We know all that happened. South Africa were in our group, the qualifying group for this World Cup, and you know what happened? They were topping the group, and they had 3 points deducted, and that 3 point was awarded to Nigeria because they fielded an ineligible player.
And we still
so with all that and the political tensions around xenophobia and all Nigerians being treated so bad in South Africa, but all that, of course, is making fans, African fans, not tilt towards South Africa, but tilt more to Mexico. So Mexico being a good place for them.
Now let's talk about the World Cup. We just saw the image of Mr. I feel gay, I feel black, I feel African, I feel Arab tonight, Infantino.
He's everything. He's all for everyone.
He's been a man in the spotlight for the wrong reasons recently, because people are looking at the build-up to the World Cup. The visa issues, the Africa's best referee is not going to be there. Doesn't feel like an inclusive World Cup. And he did speak at a press conference yesterday. Do you think he has a fair share of blame in all of this, or we should look at the country, the United States, that has been preventing this from being a global celebration?
I think FIFA has got a fair share of blame. But the thing is, they can do little or less, because sincerely, at the time when this World Cup was decided, to be hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. All these countries know that they're ready to open their doors to the world to come in. But with the visa restrictions, the visa ban, the whole immigration challenges and all that, FIFA cannot interfere, because FIFA will never interfere into a sovereign law, immigration law by a country. The host country owns that law, and FIFA has nothing to do but to follow that law. Now, the unfortunate situation with the referee, Omar Atan, he had gone back to his home country right now.
So heroes welcome.
Yes,
yeah.
Heroes welcome. They say if a king is not celebrated in his country, but Omar, he was celebrated in his country. And even if Canada are giving him an open door right now, he cannot still take that, because you have to be in Florida, Miami, with the tournament, rehearsals and trainings for referee, and he could not attend that because even though he had a valid visa, he had to go through immigration and border control.
He will have to be in the US.
Yes, but there have been a lot of conversations around what is happening to people entering into the United States, because more of the games will be played there. 11 host cities from the United States. Mexico only got 3. Canada has got 2. So more games will be played in the United States. We've heard of the Senegalese team being
searched like criminals.
So to remove their boots, to be searched. We heard of Iraqi team,
the striker being held.
So
Angola was denied visa before. Even South Africa. They don't have their assistant coach. Yes, he was also denied visa
because he was born in Cameroon.
So the whole thing is, but FIFA cannot just intervene because they cannot meddle into home affairs.
Let's listen to FIFA president himself. He was asked at the press conference about everything that happened and the referee and so on. But this is what he had to say.
Told he can't enter the United States, sent back home, accused of having links with suspected terror organizations. We have Mexico having to change their training, Iran having to change their training base here to Mexico. We have fans and journalists from a number of countries who aren't able to attend this World Cup because of travel bans or visa restrictions. You yourself have said in the past how important it is to have freedom of movement at a global event like this. You've said how inclusive it is, how welcoming it is as well. Are you embarrassed, therefore, by what actually has come to pass? And do you have to accept that you've lost some control of your own tournament here?
Thanks for you're from BBC. BBC. In 2035, I think, we hope, the Women's World Cup will be in the UK, right? Still needs to be a decision, but looks like. Would you find it normal that FIFA would dictate to the British government who to let in the country and who not to let in the country? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you find it normal. I would like, personally. On the other side, the reality of the matter is that in every country there are governments. Try to get into the UK, into Germany, into Switzerland without a visa. Try to get a visa if you are from a certain country. It's not easy, that's what I want to say. It's not easy when you have 300,000 accredited people, majority of which from outside of the US, to process them, to vet them. You don't know, unfortunately, our world is a very aggressive world, and security goes above everything, and you need to respect the decisions which are taken. And when I say to chill, I don't mean to chill and do nothing. I mean to trust us, that we are working behind the scenes, we are trying to understand, and there are things we can know, things we cannot know, things we are told, things we are not told. And we always try to make the situation as positive as possible and to find solutions. Sometimes we manage, other times not. I think it has already been successful to bring Iran to play in America. I don't know who would have managed to do that. And of course everyone here believes it's the right thing to do. But, you know, again, we don't live on the moon, we live on planet Earth, and you have to deal with different situations. We try to do our best. We try to do our best.
Thanks,
and
man.
I hope we'll have some good news.
Gentlemen in the front row.
A lot being said by the FIFA president, the most controversial FIFA president, where you could say you can't compare his time now to that of Sepp Blatter, which was highly
Platini has
into
ruled
court.
fouled,
Yeah,
fouled
for corruption issues. So he's, I mean,
Platini's always
he's got a lot
it's a
in store for
long
him.
world football field.
But with regards to what he said there, I mean, there are some things, he's been very coy with the truth, because of course we understand that you can't determine a country's immigration policies, but it will be hypocritical of him not to also talk about Indonesia. Indonesia does not have diplomatic relations with the State of Israel, and they refuse to grant Israeli footballers a visa to play in the FIFA World Cup under 20, if I'm not mistaken. And as a result of that, their hosting rights was taken away from them. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander. It means FIFA has the power to stop the United States from hosting, but they refuse to. You know, this, and we saw a camera the other day, I'm sure you saw that video drop. There's been complaints about infrastructure using NFO pitches. The pitches are council standard pitches and all of that. But away from all this drama, let's talk about the footballing. Who are your favorites and who do you think will win? Is it Curaçao?
I think it's too early to say who do you think will win, but are you talking about Africa or?
No, Africa first.
Okay,
Who
Africa
will be
first.
Africa's best performing team? The real champions or the CAF champions?
You know, the CAF champions, we're cutting them some slack because they made it finish fourth overall in 2022. Morocco. Yes.
Okay.
That's CAF champions. So we're looking
How about our
at
champions that won on the pitch, the Senegalese, Teranga Lions?
the group where they are placed. Senegal have got big teams to face. The likes of Cape Verde, who are making it their debut right now, they've got Spain. You know, that's a whooping, total whooping.
We beat Spain in 19,
all right, let's say Cote d'Ivoire has got Ecuador. That's kind of easy.
Ecuador, they were very good in the last one.
But they can match up with Cote d'Ivoire can match up with their kind of physicality. But let's look at Senegal. Morocco has got Brazil. Now Senegal has got France.
Yeah, but they did beat France in 2002.
Senegal has got France. And you know France. France are runners-up of this competition.
Yeah.
And they were winners before they became runners-up in 2022.
There's an
and they have a lot of PSG players.
They've got top players. They've got players that are coming to make a mark. Cheki, Mbappe, Olise. Olise was brought in from the Olympic team down to the senior men's national team. He was on fire for the Olympic team.
He scored 3 goals in their pre-World Cup game. 3 goals.
So usefulness in there. But Spain also.
Solid team.
How about South Africa? Why are you not talking about
South Africa?
Do you know why? I have a beef against them anyway. We're supposed to be in that group. If we had won.
If we're going to take away the xenophobia in South Africa, let's put
Mexico.
They're playing the host.
I know.
Have you seen the stadium Azteca?
Hold on. What I'm saying
100,000 home fans chanting.
That's why the opening ceremony will be there.
So let's remove, for example, the existing xenophobic attacks, that South Africa has, inflicted on other Africans. Did they stand a chance? In terms of their skill, their play, the players that they have?
The players they have a team filled with home-based players. And these home-based players, you can't imagine that they'll be able to match up with people who have explored, who are exposed to modern-day facilities in football. Yes, we know the belief.
But Mamelodi Sundowns won the CAF
Can they even beat Chelsea, who are world club champions?
Relax. Relax.
Sorry.
Relax. Relax.
You're writing them off. But me, I feel they can.
I'm not writing them off.
I'm not.
They can dream. Small teams can dream too.
True.
Yeah.
And South Africa, I mean, in fairness to South Africa, I think they can win 1 or 2 throw-ins and corners. They can win throwing, they can
Even
win
that
corner.
throwing and corner, don't let them get yellow cards because there are new rules. FIFA will be testing new rules in this competition. The balls have got a sensor that can read anything, any single touch on that ball. Then there are rules about you wasting time, too much time to do a throw-in. You've got just 5 seconds, and if you do not do that in 5 seconds, you have a card. The goalkeeper also, for the goal kick, you have a few seconds, and if you do not, now
no more talking for the game.
Just not to. They're trying not to delay. Not to delay
no more
the
talking
game.
with mouth closed.
Do not cover your mouth when you
if
get
you're
a red
speaking to
card.
an opponent. That's if you're speaking to an opponent.
If you cover your mouth, even when you're talking to your team members,
you have to be careful.
You do not cover. No, you do not cover.
Why? So
Unless
that
you
you
get
get
the red card.
No gossip.
Do you remember what happened with Vinicius Junior case and all that?
Are you trying to deprive bloggers of work? I want blogger.
But let's
those who are insulting those based on nationality.
I want us to touch on this one. Super Eagles played Portugal yesterday. We saw the Nigerian delegates.
They almost built a statue for him.
Everyone is rushing to hug Ronaldo and so on. That game played yesterday saw a different side of. I think Portugal wanted to play an African team.
Yes, because they've got DR Congo.
Yes.
They've got DR Congo in their Group K. So they want to play an African team that has got physicality just like DR Congo, so they can match up when they can know what to face when they have their opening game against DR Congo. Yes, Nigeria is a good fit because DR Congo did stretch Nigeria in that playoff match, the intercontinental playoff match. So I'm sure that they really were intentional picking Nigeria. But we were asking a question. Portugal are playing this game because they are preparing for the World Cup. What is Nigeria preparing for?
We're warming up now. We're building the team now.
We are really building the team. But it was a fantastic performance yesterday.
Fantastic, and we lost.
We lost, but it was good performance. We played against Portuguese team that has got DR Congo, and Maduka Okoye, he really locked him. He could not even find the back of the net. Ronaldo could not find the back of the net, at least. Maduka Okoye was
Alex,
great.
it will be 100
appearance, and he's joining the likes of Ahmed Musa and the goalkeeper Vincent Eyama. So young like that, 100.
It's Ronaldo and Messi's last World Cup. So
final dance.
I think this should put an end to all the debates. Who do you think will come out tops, and who has a better chance?
Don't put me in that argument.
No. Based on this is a scientific question, based on performance, the group, and I'm not telling you to choose. Just who has an easier path to performing better?
So let me go this way. I do not want to believe that the whole syndrome of having to win the cup and exit at the group stage happens to Argentina, because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that it doesn't happen
Where's
to Argentina.
Messi? Saudi Arabia. Where's Messi?
We're hoping that it doesn't happen this time around. But if it does, then Ronaldo goes all the way, because the Portuguese team have got players that are top-notch. They made the team of the season in their individual clubs. But look, while we're talking about final dance for Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, we're talking about a debut for Lamine Yamal too, for Spain.
The future.
First World Cup for the young boys. So it's going to be final dance for some and a way to prove themselves, their youthfulness, and all for others too.
I think Spain will win. That's my call.
Yes, Spain is a team to look out for at this World Cup. They are parading, in fact, Arsenal's. They're parading Arsenal.
Okay, congratulations.
Olive, so we remember at the end of the competition when Onye comes back.
She said Spain.
I said Spain, I chose Spain. She said Spain.
No, I'm with Spain and France.
Okay.
I'm with Spain and France.
So you're allowed to pick two teams.
Okay.
I'm with Spain and France.
For me, Spain and South Africa.
I already said South Africa.
What's with you and South Africa?
Joe.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to pick any team now. I think I'll just wait. I'll wait till the competition starts. I want to see the way they play.
Wait till the round of 32.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to pick anything now, because before I say one thing, I'm going to talk to say a different one.
Yeah, Nigerian players, just before we wrap up, Nigerian players are not at the Mundial, but we have so many Nigerians of other nationalities representing us. Manuel Konji for Switzerland, Germany, Musiala,
Olise, Michael Olise, also for France.
Others. But there are also Nigerians that are representing Nigeria.
So we won on both sides.
Burna Boy,
Davido.
I think Arya Star. I mean, that says a lot about us. What do you make of it?
It's global visibility. Come on.
Ira.
Is it Arya?
Ira.
Sorry, I'm not Gen Z.
Oh, look at our...
That's it. Will be with 100.
He was given, yes, he was given a frame.
Congratulations.
I really wish I can go represent Breakfast Central in Mexico. You know,
Don Julio.
In Mexico.
Don Julio. And Mexico. You want to use that to escape.
Anyway.
You know, final note.
But that's the only place you can, oh. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if you want to...
Some of they're very valuable lessons we learn every day. Yesterday, there was a kidnapping incident. A woman that faked a kidnapping in...
Delta. Benin, and then I think she was found in Delta with her lover.
Her nickname is As a Woman. Unfortunately, As a Woman will not be able to watch this World Cup because she's behind prison custody.
Wow.
I mean, she's behind bars.
Wow.
So don't do crime so that you can watch World Cup.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
There's a lot to talk about. We look forward to let's just mention to our viewers, we'll be having Onyinyechi and the sports desk join us intermittently.
I remember when Udoka was in Morocco and smoke was coming out of his mouth.
It felt like it was on top of
it was Shango.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're seeing the World Cup squad list.
Yeah.
Noni Madueke, Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, Antonio Nusa,
Nigerians.
These are Nigerians.
Falari Balogun, Manuel Akonji, Noah Okafor for Switzerland, Michael Olise for France, Kane Chukwemeka for Austria, David Alaba for Austria.
Nigeria is there. What are you like represented?
We're almost done. Jamal Musiala for Germany.
There's even one for South Africa.
Ime Okon for South Africa. Tani Oluwaseyi for Canada and Promise David for Canada. South Africa is going to really hold Benga by the jugular because he has refused to let them be. Thank you so much.
Good luck to Bafana tonight. Yeah. I'm supporting them because of Bongani. She's one of us.
Today
New Central has a branch in South Africa. So let's be our brothers keepers.
One more thing. Tomorrow, 2 of you are joining us live on this set to celebrate Nigeria's Democracy Day. So you're starting the show with us for Wake Up Conversations. If you're interested, the number is on your TV screen. Please go there, drop a WhatsApp message, and we're selecting 2 people to join us physically. See you tomorrow, and then also we hope you watch the opening, and then we can talk about that as well.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to that.
Au revoir from Mendoza.